ready to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Now at Banana Republic Factory, 50 to 70% off almost everything, including fall-ready favorites. Discover essential sweaters, easy denim, and more from $14.99. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Listen, when we're all working on our shows here at The Fanatic, we're totally focused and we don't want to worry about the other things. You know, like the technology that runs our station. That's where Affinity Technology comes in. They run all our IT so we can focus on what really matters, our business and our listeners. These guys handle literally everything. If it plugs in, they work with it. They've saved us tons of money and they've kept us focused on what really matters. Affinity Technology, they can do the same for you. Go to atechaz.com. Be sure and tell them I sent you.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve. If you or someone you know needs assistance with benefits, health care and wellness, employment, or housing, visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Mortgage rates keep dropping. Whether you're looking to reduce your payments, pull cash out, or shorten your term, take advantage of District Lending's new lower rates. 15-year fixed rates as low as 1.99% APR and 30-year fixed rates as low as 2.49% APR. Call or text 480-694-7890 or check out districtlending.com/rates. That's districtlending.com/rates. NMLS 183-5285, Equal Housing Lender. Mortgage rate subject to change. This is not a commitment to lend.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keyshawn Rhodes, push the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We're broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and a couple of different things got done over the weekend. Preseason's over, thank God.
Yes.
And the Daily Blender drafts have already happened.
And thank God the guy I was going to take, DK, whatever his name was, got hurt. Thank God I didn't take him.
DK Robbins.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. Oh, boy, did I dodge a bullet there.
Yeah. Hey, who did take the J.K. Dobbins in the daily? Oh, I'm just kidding. Moistman took him. Sorry. I'm not laughing at J.K. Dobbins getting hurt. I'm just laughing at everybody who took him in fantasy football and then were crying crocodile tears later in the day.
Well, I mean, how do you know?
Yeah.
A situation like that's horrible for him, and it's horrible for all the fantasy owners out there.
Yeah, and now listen, you can't ever know when these things are going to happen in the preseason, and that's why we try to go as late as we can. And I just realized we could have gone another week later. For some reason, I had it in my head when they said it was only a 3-week preseason, that once preseason started, the next weekend football would start. And it's not. We could have drafted on September 4th and nobody'd be any the wiser. And we would have more injury ideas. So now we drafted Saturday at noon, and a lot happened over the weekend. And there's a bunch of people hurt. And
who was that tight end? I almost took him too for the Gigantes.
Yeah. Evan Ingram, I took him with my
gosh.
second to last pick.
Did you really?
He's got himself a pretty good calf injury right there. Is there any word on how bad that is yet? Do we have any idea?
All I saw is before I went on the air, I was watching the NFL Network, and they said that a coach, old giant coach there, whatever his name is, the judge, he says he expects to have some more information today.
All right. Well, if we find that out, that'll be interesting. And so J.K. Dobbins, there is no more information. He tore his ACL, and he is now out for the entire year. Other players who got injured right after you drafted him. I don't know if anybody drafted Fairbairn as their kicker, but he in the pregame warm-ups got himself injured.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know when he's going to be around, but they're saying he should be all right for the season opener on the 12th. So keep an eye on that if you have him as your kicker. T.Y. Hilton, you know what? They say the injury is not season ending, but it's not going to put him in the lineup. So if you drafted him, act accordingly. You know, as you get older as a player, these things happen. So I don't know how many weeks he's going to be out, 2, 3, 4, who knows? And then Sam Ellinger, which is not really relevant because Carson Wentz. Well, is it? Maybe it is relevant. Maybe I'll get to that in a moment. Maybe I'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah,
but he's going to miss a couple weeks with a knee sprain. Nothing too serious right there. And yes, back to the Colts. Holy crap. My team is just trying so hard to fall apart on me. First, Carson Wentz, Quentin Nelson, they're supposed to come back and do some team drills. You know, Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson had the exact same foot injury, and they both recovered. They're both ready to come back, and they're like, okay, ready. No, not so fast, because now you're on the COVID there, Carson Wentz, Ryan Kelly, Zach Pascal. Not you, Quentin Nelson. You're okay. You can come off the list. And by the way, Sam Tevy, he's on injured reserve. This guy who's really trying to make the roster. He's not one of the starters. At first, I was a little worried, but he's on IR now. So the Colts just trying so hard, whether it's COVID or injuries, to just implode on me. But you know, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? It's just the way it happens this time of year.
Doesn't Carson Wentz already have the vaccine? I thought I heard in that news report before I got on the air that he's only going to be out like 4 or 5 days.
Right. It'll be a 5-day thing, and they should all be able to practice next week and be in that opener against the Seattle Sea Chickens. So but you don't know. You don't know how these things are going to go just because you're a close contact. Now, if they take you out of it because you're a close contact, are they just doing that vaccinated or not now because of all the breakthrough cases, or is it maybe he isn't vaccinated? I don't know. I'm losing track of who is, who isn't, and how things are going to go. I imagine we'll find out when it's necessary. When it's relevant, we'll find out.
Boy, I saw that. I sorry for you, my pal. I saw that, and
I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this week, out of this season, to be honest. So whether it's going to be a real injury or COVID, I don't expect Carson Wentz for the whole season, no matter what. Listen, I just don't even care anymore.
That's true. You've been pretty consistent about that.
Yeah. By the way, the Cardinals have cut Keyshawn Johnson,
which is perplexing for me. They used Keyshawn Johnson quite a bit, and they kept Andy Isabella, and they barely used him on special teams and here and there. I think this was a Steve Keim move, to be honest with you, where you cut a player that's pretty good and can help your team, and you keep a guy on there to save face. Seems like Steve Keim wants to save face, knowing that this Andy Isabella guy is not going to work out the way they thought.
Do you think that Bidwell is sitting there in his office and judging anything and everything they do with the roster based on what draft pick they were in the past?
No.
So then why is he saving face? How's that save face for Steve Keim?
For Steve Keim, I mean, look, if this team does not produce this year, and right now, I'm wearing my Cardinal red, and I will be a fan, and I will root on, and I will think nothing but positive thoughts from the beginning of the real season. I will back my team. Listen, this has not been a good preseason for this team. They haven't shown me a whole lot. Steve Keim has got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I bet if he does not perform this year as a GM, having assembled this team in the offseason, I have a feeling he's not going to be there in the end, and he's got to look forward to other job opportunities.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to hire him.
How does anybody how did Buddy Ryan's sons always continue to get hired even after the miserable failures they proved to be over and over again, and they still got hired on?
Must have been very charming. You know what I mean? In the meetings.
Well, I mean, there was that one that had the foot thing, so maybe did a little foot thing with the owner, and
that's creepy.
Was Rex Ryan a failure? He did go to 2 AFC Championship games.
He went to 2 AFC Championship games. He didn't deliver though.
Yeah, but that's not failing. I mean,
and every time he faced against the Patriots, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, but that was the Patriots, especially at that point in time. I'm just saying I root for a team that regularly doesn't make the playoffs ever. I wouldn't say 2 AFC Championship games is a failure.
Keon, aim higher. Aim higher, Keon.
I get what you're saying.
And listen, Rex Ryan, he's a douchebag at least, if he's not a failure.
He's a foot guy.
He's not a guy you want coaching your team anymore. That's why he's on TV, because him and his giant teeth say stupid crap every now and then, and it gets you guys ratings and stuff.
I haven't seen him on the 4-letter Espen there. I haven't seen him on there in quite some time.
Well, they made a lot of cuts, and it hasn't been a great it hasn't been a great couple of months for ESPN lately. If we're honest, the whole thing with Rachel Nichols. She's being an idiot. And then, of course, Maria Taylor, she's like, I'm out. And so now, that was not a good look for ESPN and seriously not a good look for Rachel Nichols. And if you're going to do something, you should just fire her on the spot. In fact, you should have fired her in that meeting for saying the stuff that she was saying. But I digress. ESPN will have to lay a bunch of people off because of cuts and this and that. And, I've disliked ESPN for quite some time, but this is just making it even worse.
And this is not the first time, Jeffco. This has been a trend over the last, 3 years now? 4 years?
Yeah. Things are bad, getting worse, but they got a lot of money behind them, so they're not going away. But it ain't all happiness over there, and I've lost all kinds of respect for them. And if you haven't lost any respect for the Espen yet, maybe what happened over the weekend will help with that.
Oh boy,
I'm flipping through the channels. I don't know what the hell is a high school football game doing on there. I'm like, well, there must be some future bright stars on this, because why would they air this?
Yeah.
There was a game between Florida's IMG Academy and Ohio's Bishop Sycamore. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of Bishop Sycamore, whatever. So I start watching this for a second. I'm like, oh my God, this is just so lopsided. Florida, this is not fair. It's a Bishop. They're getting stomped, and it's like 30-0 when I'm looking at it. And every play, you can tell it's like grown men playing like 10-year-olds. It was so bad. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then you start to hear the announcers sort of saying the same thing, saying, wow, this is not even a fair fight. And somebody looked into it. It turns out that Florida's IMG Academy lied to ESPN. ESPN never checked on it. They're like, oh yeah, we're a member of Division I prospects. We got a bunch of these Division I prospects on our roster. So does the other team. This is going to be a good game. You should probably air this, and then everybody can see future stars tomorrow.
Oh boy. ESPN,
did they bother looking into it? They're like, nope, sold. Sign us up. Send the cameras. See ya. Click. Didn't bother to look into it. Now, I know you're saying, well, that's a little bit cynical, because Florida's IMG does have some players there.
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't even bother to look into, research on the players in the game is a standard, right?
Right.
Coaches, the system, the town, the school, a little color for the color commentary, right? What they didn't even look into was Bishop's like an online school. It's not even a real high school.
Wow. That's terrible.
And nobody on that team was even a serious prospect for even varsity, let alone Division I college.
Wait, I'm confused. So the IMG is an online school, or this the other one?
No, the other one. Florida IMG is real, but Ohio's Bishop Sycamore, not so much.
What?
They're saying it's an online charter school, and the kids don't even go anywhere. And the website just looks like a WordPress blog. And that team went 0-6 last season, routinely blown out, and all this stuff. All you gotta do is Google, and there it is. Just Google it yourself if you don't believe me. Bishop Sycamore. 0-6 season last year. No real players, not even a campus. It's online only.
Who did all the hijinks, though? Who's the one that pulled the wool over ESPN's eyes?
That would be Florida IMG Academy. Now, somebody over there got some explaining to do, but I kind of...
But you got to blame ESPN for that. No, you're the worldwide leader in sports, allegedly.
If I'm the athletic director of Florida IMG Academy, I'm just sitting in my office laughing. And if I am the school board, I'm laughing too. It's like, yeah, you pulled one over on those guys. Now, you could say, well, we're very disappointed. But no, it wasn't up to Florida IMG Academy's athletic director, coaches, or anybody else to do the homework for ESPN before ESPN decides. You might say, well, that is a lie. So maybe somebody should be dealt with whatever way. But it's Florida, so I'm sure they don't care.
But Florida IMG is also going to do what's in their best interest because they are a powerhouse school. They're pretty well known for that.
Yeah.
And they want to be televised blowing people out. That's good for them. It gets people to transfer to Florida IMG so that they can get more players.
The end score was 58-0. And that's not a good-looking blowout. That's a bad blowout where the announcers were saying on air, I think we've been had, and we should probably stop this. So these kids are going to get hurt. It's not even a fair fight. The announcers were concerned about the safety of the players on the other team. That's how bad it was. So yeah, Espen, way to go, guys. One person. I'm trying to understand. Could have figured this out.
I've done some play-by-play for high school football, in my past, and like you go to the school. You talk to people, at least because, at least at the level I was doing it, there's no production meeting. You just sort of do it all yourself.
Right.
But ESPN, you could have a producer. You have someone who goes out and interviews
people.
You
have many producers, not just one.
Right.
Where was this?
In a national broadcast all the way down, there is a huge crew. You got camera guys, sound guys, a guy in a truck, and you got a director. You got this guy. You got a tape operator. Blah, 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 blah. There is a huge amount of people that have to show up anywhere to put on a broadcast like this. And okay, who needs to be fired? The play-by-play guys. They need to be fired for not doing even the least amount of research. And if it wasn't up to them, then whoever was supposed to fired. The producers who decided to say green light on this, this is going to be a good one, fired. And if you find out that somebody at ESPN has a kid at Florida IMG that fired, any kind of whatever, fired, I think you need to fire an awful lot of people over at ESPN because it turns out they cut the wrong people if this is the nonsense that's happening.
Well, and again, when you get to the ESPN level, it's not the talent. Those guys walk in there they're just talent. You give them cards, they read these cards, they do some research, they watch some tape. But at the high school football level like this, the ESPN talent just basically walks in and does the gig. You've got associate producers, you have assistant producers, you've got producers, you have executive producers. Somebody in the producer chain, if not multiple producers, need to be let go.
I hear what you're saying, Randy, but there's got to be some back and forth with those producers. If you're a broadcaster, you can't, you're not just expecting that, you're going to walk in and just receive a packet of notes. You didn't email anybody and say, so what do we know about these kids? You literally waited till the day of?
The talent gets a packet, an email packet sent to them, and they research this packet, and they have some tape that they have privy to, and they can watch. But the producers are the ones, I'm telling you right now for ESPN, those are the ones, either the associate or assistant producers or even the big honchos, the producer or EP should be severely disciplined, if not let go.
So Bob, did you drive by their campus? Yes, I did.
Nobody got online and researched this. Nobody?
It's like if somebody was sending out cut-ups of film to watch, because a lot of the high school stuff is on Huddle. You can go find it there. If they were doing that, you'd have seen the 0-6 performance from a year ago, and just watching these kids get axe murdered by every team they play.
It's not just that they lost every game; they weren't in any game. They were routinely blown out after blowout after blowout after blowout. So
it's not fair to those kids. That's really where it hurts.
That's humiliating.
It's no good for the online kids either. Hefty Lefty says IMG Academy should play a real school like number one Mater Day. They get rightful national media attention.
Number one, Mater D.
Mater Day. I don't know what you're talking about, Hefty Lefty.
Are we talking about cars? What are we doing? Mater?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mater.
Voice text may have betrayed him there. Mr. Wilbur says supposedly that high school team was 0-5 last year. No, 0-6. They were outscored 220 to like 40 or something. That in itself would have told me they should not have been put on TV. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is embarrassing all the way up the chain of command for the ESPN. So when you wonder why I have such disdain for ESPN, now you know. I mean, well, I'm sure we have lots of reasons. That horrible Monday Night Football broadcast would be a good one. I mean, we could list off all of our grievances, but we got bigger fish to fry. I got a full, oh dear God, about 25 texts I got to read when we come back. We got to talking, and the fourth dimension got to typing. So let's get caught up when we do. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
What's up? This is Riley. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A grilled chicken club sandwich is the applewood bacon. It's savory, and then it's also kind of sweet. And I think the combination of bacon with chicken and Colby Jack cheese, it just really knocks it out of the park.
Hey, I'm Tanea. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A grilled chicken club sandwich is the chicken. It's so juicy. It's grilled to perfection. I'm going to devour this sandwich.
Order the grilled chicken club sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
Mortgage rates keep dropping. Whether you're looking to reduce your payments, pull cash out, or shorten your term, take advantage of District Lending's new lower rates. 15-year fixed rates as low as 1.99% APR and 30-year fixed rates as low as 2.49% APR. Call or text 480-694-7890 or check out districtlending.com/rates. That's districtlending.com/rates. NMLS 183-5285, Equal Housing Lender. Mortgage rate subject to change. This is not a commitment to lend.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Last year, nobody knew what to expect. This year, it's an entirely different story. New rookies, new leadership, new expectations. The NFL is back, and it's exclusively on The Fanatic, including playoffs and the Super Bowl. You won't hear it anywhere else. Your home for the NFL, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, the Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And I guess there is more to the story. It turns out, as much as Florida IMG lied, the guys over at Bishop Sycamore did the same thing. They told the ESPN guys, "Oh yeah, we got a number of Division I prospects on our roster right here." And of course, Anif Shroff says, "To be frank, there's a lot of that we could not verify." Well, no kidding. I think you did. I think you verified it. I think you did right before our eyes. As Florida IMG curb stomped Bishop. That was just ugly, ugly, ugly. 888-368-1580. So we had our Daily Blender Fanatic draft this weekend. Everybody did it online. Unfortunately, we couldn't have a party this year because of the old COVID, but we got 10 leagues running right now and everybody drafted. So, hey, here you guys, if you were one of those people, let us know. How'd you feel about your draft? Do you feel like you did a good job? Did you feel you got the greatest players? Are you going to win your league? How's your confidence level right now? My confidence level, mediocre. I was in the 9th position in the draft, and I feel like I got a pretty steady, good team, though. I mean, if you look at my team, it seems like it's pretty solid with guys who are going to give you consistent work. Now, I don't know if it's going to be enough in any given week to win until the season starts going, but I feel okay about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw your team. There was a lot of maybe not the highest ceiling, but a really high floor. Like you're not going to have any bottom out weeks.
Right. I feel like it's steady. How about you, Randy? How did you feel about your draft?
I never know about these things, Jeffco. I think I did okay.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Your team looked pretty good. I mean, I know that Moist one was I don't know if he was being sarcastic or not, but he says that your team was the only team he was scared of. He might have just been fluffing you.
Yeah, I think he was probably
Well,
just being very kind.
Well, Randy's got 2 players on his team I wanted, but he drafted right in front of me and took them.
Oh, I
So-
know.
Sorry.
Randy, here before we went on air, Keon was lamenting. It's like every time I wanted to get a guy, Randy took him. It wasn't just Randy. It was just where you were in the draft.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not your fault. That's just, and it's a snake draft too. I wish that I had been in the front spot when those players came up, but still.
It's funny how professional Keon gets when we're on mic, because off mic, he was like, as soon as Randy gets here, we're stepping outside.
Wow. Wait, hold on.
Like, hold on there, Keon. You know damn well he's not coming in here. He's like, well, someday he has to. Someday he has to come in.
No, I'm not going to fight Randy.
No, you're right. You won't fight Randy. It will not go well for you. Anyway, so what'd you say about your draft? Good draft, bad draft? You got a winning team? You got a losing team? What's going on, Keon?
Good draft. I don't know if it's a championship team though. It's a good team. I could probably make the playoffs with it, but I don't know.
All right. Well, let's find out what the super fans of the Fourth Dimension say right now. Let's get to a very busy text line, 888-368-1580. Jagdog says, Randy, Philadelphia Eagles just moved into the driver's seat to win the Super Bowl with signing one Mr. Gardner Flint Minshew III.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And good for them for picking him up. I hope they see his potential, move him right into the number 2 slot. So when Jalen Hurts, hopefully he never goes down. But if he needs a breather, you bring in the Mississippi mudflap and let him go in there and take care of damn business. That's what I'm talking about, Philadelphia. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think you and I finally agree on one thing about Gardner Minshew. He's number 2. 888-368-1580. Fubar says, hi, Blender. Happy draft day. Well, no, draft day was Saturday. He says, I got a C+, and yet the simulation tool said I'm projected to be 1-14.
No.
I call shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, which league are you in, Fubar? Because, almost everybody who drafted, because I got to see everybody's grade. We didn't get a grade in the Premier League for some reason. They glitched out. Did you get a grade?
No, I did not get a grade.
I don't think we're going to, but all the other fantasy football leagues under the Daily Blender flag did, and everybody who drafted from the number 9 position.
No, wait just a
minute. They got
Jeff.
A's, they got B's, but all of them were projected to have losing seasons.
Well, now we paid good money to be a part of this. I want my damn grade from the NFL.
First off, we didn't pay a damn dime. It's free.
We paid hard-earned money, and I want my grade.
Who
from
did
the
you pay
NFL.
money to?
I don't know right now, but I want my damn grade. I feel like I'm getting ripped off. I'm
Well,
not
it's
getting my
free.
money's worth.
It was free to play. It's free to be in it. There's a chance to win money for everybody but you because you're an employee, so you can't win the money. You know that. So I don't know who you're yelling at, but nobody's going to hand you any money, Randy. No money is coming your direction.
I wasn't looking for money. I want my grade on my team from all the quote-unquote experts.
Well, Ralph had a pretty interesting idea. He says, well, you're the commissioner. You give the grades. I'm like, no. I can't do that. That wouldn't be right. You know what would be right? I'm going to get CJ, our fantasy football expert. I'm going to get him to take a look at our league and give us his interpretation of our teams, our chances, and give us some draft grades. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good idea.
I think that's a good idea.
This guy knows his stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's the idea, at least. 888-368-1580. Pringle says, I really enjoyed watching that Rattlers game yesterday. I think the league would be perfect for Kyler Murray, with that short field and all.
And there's your whistle. Happy Monday.
Yeah, the Rattlers won, which is nice. Of course, you knew they would because the team they played was garbage. But next weekend, it's a more of an actual contest, and I believe it's going to be a home game again. I think, yeah. So I think
they're the number 1 seed, so it is going to be.
Oh, there you go. So it'll be broadcast live here on 1580 The Fanatic next Sunday at the 3 p.m. Charlie Boy says, happy Monday, guys. My thoughts are with all those affected by the hurricane in Louisiana. Hope everybody there is safe.
Got a friend there just outside New Orleans. They have power. They just got their water back. There's damage all around. He says it looks like a war zone out there. So many thoughts and prayers out to everybody there.
Yeah, and thoughts and prayers to our gas pumps, hoping the gas prices don't go too high either. Thoughts and prayers. Raven Kid says, Jeffrey, random texter blame me for Dobbins getting hurt after he picked him and I didn't. How's that? Yeah, how's he blaming you for that? Daylight Drew says, hope you fellas had a better weekend than old Doug. Yeah, okay, we're not doing that. I guess, by the way, so you know, 98.7 now is a text line. It pales in comparison to yours big time, so keep up the great work. Yeah, you know, listen, I didn't invent the telephone. I didn't invent the radio. I didn't invent anything. So if we were the first to have been using it for about 10 years before everybody else figured it out, you know, I can't get too mad about that. Good luck getting the kind of weird crew we've got here that makes it special. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you guys are the special ingredient, not the ability to take a text message, the ability to have a crew like you guys out there listening to this show, making it special. That they won't get. Average Joe says, little known fact, Carson Wentz was the inspiration for the character Mr. Glass in M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's Unbreakable movie.
No.
Yes, I know that.
No.
I know that.
No.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
No.
Carson Wentz, he says, and this is true, is the only guy who can get placed on the injury list for a second time while he's currently on the injury list.
He's on the COVID list. That's different. He's not injured.
He had just got off the injury list. Now he's boom, right back on the COVID list.
He's on the COVID list. He's not on the injured list. Therefore, he's not injured. Therefore, he's not made of glass.
My season's over.
No.
Papa Mike says, look at Rod Graves. He was a horrible Cardinal GM. He was hired by the NFL, so Kime might actually have another job lined up already.
Right.
Must be nice. Let's see here. Berg says, J.K. Dobbins. Oops. Yeah, oh, brother. Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, if all the Colts implode on you, you're going to need a lot of paper towels to clean yourself off.
What?
What are you talking about? Explosion, implosion. Doesn't mean what you think it means, you perv. Hefty Lefty says, Mater Day is a national powerhouse out of Santa Ana, California. It's a high school team.
I believe it's Mater D.
He says pronounced Mater Day. Oh, Mater Day. He says they opened their season Friday against Duncanville, Texas, ranked 13th, beat them 45-3. So bring on Florida Academy. Let's see
I still think it's Mater Day.
Mater Day is what he says. Mater Day. Mile High Guy says, good news. Those Bishop High School kids got scholarships now at the University of Phoenix.
And they're all starters on the University of Phoenix football team. All right.
It's a straight pipeline.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, when did Javi Baez get a ventriloquist dummy? Oh, no, that's his kid. Sorry. Moist One. I'm sorry. I just looked up at the screen and there it was. Moist One sends a crying emoji about J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Which pick did you use for J.K. Dobbins, Moist One?
Had to be a high one because he was one of the higher rated running backs.
I want to hear him say it. I can go back and look. I want to hear him say it. Screaming Eagle says, hey, Saturday was really fun. Can't wait till we do a draft like that in person. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun to do, but always better with a crowd in person. Just the Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I feel pretty good about my BL6 team. That's Blender League 16. I drafted fairly straightforward, made a couple of long shot picks, but the NFL draft site rated my draft an A-. I can't wait to get to kicking the bleep out of them other suckers in League 6. Well, good luck with that, man. Big George, he says, okay, whole thing's moving. Hey, guys, happy Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Thoughts and prayers go out to the fine folks in New Orleans who are cleaning up after Hurricane Ida. The entire city of New Orleans is out of power, and the Saints, they're going to have to play in Texas. By the way, my draft grade was an A+ in my league, according to NFL Fantasy. So I feel pretty good for having the 9th pick in the draft. Here's what you have to look at again, though. You got an A for having the 9th pick, but then you look at your win total projection and, where they think you might finish. That's where you get depressed. What you sent me on the screen, that can't be real.
Good job, Big George.
No, that can't be real.
Good job.
What did you do, George? You photoshopped this. It says he got an A+. He's projected 15-0, and he's projected to finish first. Now, I know for a fact that you have photoshopped that because I've seen the real one for your team, and that ain't it.
Big George, way to go.
That's funny. Boomer Sooner says, sorry, Jeffrey, where do you find that grade? How do you think we did with Boomer Sooner? You did about as good as you could with 9th place. I saw that, but it's in your email, man. They'll send you an email. Jagdog says the Rattlers play Duke City Sunday at 3 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Duke City.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Have they always been on Sundays? These Arena Football League games?
No, this is a new thing. A lot of their games are Friday or Saturdays.
That's
most
what
of Saturdays.
I thought. And why are the playoffs on Sunday?
I don't know.
No idea. Need to get a hold of the Rattlers and ask.
5th letter says, F that other text line. Daily Blender or die. DBOD. He says, I nailed my draft. Except for that part about Dobbins. Yeah. Hopefully can work out a trade with Creepy Bush in League 7. Mr. Wilbur says, maybe we should call ESPN and tell them that the Blender College Prep football team would love to show off our ability to score and score big. I'm sure they put our football game on prime time.
Oh,
that's right. Daily Blender Prep Academy. We have a fine team.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Hellestray is our long snapper. Not the same Dale Hellestray. Distant relative. Yeah, why not? Let's see.
It's his nephew, Dale Hellestray.
Oh, yeah.
It's his nephew, Dale. It's Dale's nephew, Dale.
It's remarkable how much alike they look.
He's such a mature young man, though. I mean, deep voice for just a young kid. You wouldn't believe how massive he is.
We're going to need you to close one eye and cross the other, and then we can pull this off. Then we can do it. Yeah, I don't know what kind of horrible lies the NFL.com is giving people to try to make them happy. But Jagdog says, despite reaching for a few early rounders, Jagdog is poised for supremacy. Again, I've seen these. These are doctored. I have seen the real ones. You did not get projected to finish first place. Come on, man. That can't be right. Whatever the case is, if it's the lie you want to believe and gets you through, by God, you go with God, people. Go with God. Whatever works for you. Hey, over the weekend, did you watch much baseball, Randy?
I watched it a little, yeah. What do you want to know about Little League? What do you want to know? Big League? What do you want to know?
Well, I want to get back to the whole Javi Baez thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take these idiots aside and tell them how dumb here's what's going on. Now, Mets are in a horrible slump, not as bad as the Diamondbacks. By the way, last week we're like, hey, they beat the Phillies again. They're undefeated against the Phillies 4-0.
Yeah.
And then on Friday night, the Phillies in the middle of the game go, oh, wait, we're the Phillies. They're the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And they came back and beat them 7-6. Then the next day, they completely remembered that they are the Phillies. And the Diamondbacks completely remembered that the Diamondbacks 7-0. And then, yesterday, 7-4. So the Phillies stomp. They like a light bulb went off, and they remembered who they were. Mm-hmm. And the Diamondbacks back to doing Diamondbacks things.
3-7 in their 10-day trip. Anyway, go ahead.
I love how you try to spin that. Even that doesn't sound good, Randy.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all. So anyways, the Mets, as you know, pretty bad slump. And in typical New York fashion, the fans are starting to boo them. That's what New York fans do. Well, now the players, they all got together and said, here's an idea. Players have began giving thumbs down sign whenever they get a hit, just to give the fans a taste of their own medicine, which is really the dumbest thing. Javier Baez says, it feels bad when I strike out and they boo me. So I want them to know that when we're successful, we're going to do the same thing to let them know how it feels. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's extremely selfish, too.
It's stupid.
It's childish. It's selfish. It's lame. It's dumb. When you want to start mocking the people that pay your paycheck by working hard and coming in and buying their tickets and buying all the products in the stadium and buying all the jerseys and the hats and all this, and you want to turn your thumbs down to them, here's what I say. Let's give you a base salary. You'll be lucky to play the damn game and see if you enjoy it from there. And let these fans just go at your ass every time you do something wrong.
I don't mind it at all. It's a kid's game. We're surprised that players playing a kid's game are acting childish. Of course they're acting childish. And you know what? Your fans are coming in.
It's more than childish.
Well, of course. I mean, but I don't mind
it's
it that
disrespect.
much.
Well, because
I don't know
because
how
you're a
disrespectful
snowflake.
We
know that. But
how's that being a snowflake?
Listen,
they're just booing back fans.
There used to be
Are you a
respect.
fan? Do you go to the stadium and root for your team? Do you want them to win? Do you stand by them, win, lose, or draw? Like what are we doing here? You're going to the stadium and you're booing your guys, who, by the way, are pretty decent for being the Mets.
Javi Baez hasn't been decent for a while.
How else can a fan show their disapproval for a team that's underperforming? And by the way, these guys that are playing a child's game are being paid a king's ransom.
All right, I don't care.
The behest of the people that go to the stadium.
I appreciate that, but for this argument, I don't care about the money. Here's what I care about: whether it was lunch money or big money, that is irrelevant. If the crowd is watching you and you're not doing well and they decide to boo you, you know what? That is their right to do so. And you have to have a little more dignity, a little more respect for the game. And you're right, Randy, they are paying your salary. There wouldn't be you playing this game if those fans weren't there. Even Javi Baez, as he has his child in his lap and he's teaching him a horrible lesson about life, says, I play for the fans. I love the fans. But if they're going to do that, they're just putting more pressure on the team. That's not what we want.
Oh, no.
Oh, shut up, Javi Baez. So here's the thing. You know, you can't, you don't turn on your audience and survive. You don't turn on your audience and survive. And it's not about, okay, you're saying that you're okay with it, Keon, because it's a child's game. And, well, you know, yes, it's a childish thing. So, it's fine.
Well, because we mock guys who take things too seriously.
Take a step back and look at it a different way. It's entertainment. And if you go out on stage and you turn on the audience, they're going to turn on you. And now you've lost your show. You've lost your audience. Now, if you lose your audience, then somebody higher up is going to start firing people. And Mets president Sandy Alderson said, these comments and gestures by this guy or any other players, similar intent, totally unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Zing. Ain't going to happen, man. You do not show a disrespect to the audience.
If your feelings get hurt because the fans are booing you, get out of the damn game.
Well, how about this? Play better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's always the goal. Always the goal to play better. And sometimes guys get in a slump, and it should be understandable by the players. Look, they have a right to boo me. I'm playing horrible.
You don't have a right to boo them back.
Don't get so damn butthurt that you've got to start booing the fan. Boo.
Yeah.
You know what? Because all those people in that stadium right there that you're showing the thumbs down to are the ones paying for you to play this game.
Let's say I'm doing stand-up. Stand-up, well, that's a childish profession because you're up there just making jokes, making people laugh. If somebody were to heckle me and I start boo at them and doing this at them,
but don't you go back to certain people?
You will lose the crowd, and if you lose the crowd will leave. And the people who manage the club do not make their money off the alcohol they were trying to sell, and everybody loses.
But don't you go back at some people sometimes if someone's being disrespectful to you?
Here's the thing. Here's the difference on going back. This was a premeditated stupidity. They got a good hit and then went boo. That makes no sense. If somebody's booing you and you're like, up yours. Now that makes sense because you're just like, yeah, screw you. That makes more sense than having a positive moment, turn it into a negative moment. That would be, in this analogy, I'm on stage and I just suddenly turn in the crowd and tell them how stupid and ugly and fat and worthless they are when they're like, wait, what the hell just happened? Oh, well, I just got a big laugh and I want you to know. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, well, you didn't have me at my worst. But I just think that being in sports is just a little bit different when you have fans who can turn on you at a moment's notice. And this is different from the Orioles, who have put a completely disrespectful product out on the field.
Everything you're saying is irrelevant. You know, everything you're saying is irrelevant. You are the entertainment. You are the player. You are doing what you're doing. Do something good, the crowd is on your side. Do something bad, they're going to let you know. They boo in every sport. Don't be such a snowflake there, Javi Baez. And Lindor, I think, was in on
Francisco
that too.
Lindor, who actually I think I read somewhere that was his idea.
Right. Well, whatever. But this was the wrong way to go. You're going to lose this every time.
And to be clear, I don't think they're right. I just don't think it's this big disrespectful deal.
Oh, it's huge.
It's very huge.
Okay.
Huge.
As if I see Javi Baez doing that and I'm a Mets fan, what is this goofball doing? I still get my money's worth if we win.
It's where it all ends. So let's say, Keon, we go out there on a stage and we do a thing for the Daily Blender. And like, hey, everybody, it's Keon. They're like, hey, we like Keon. And then they're clapping. You go out and you're like, you suck. You all suck because you made jokes about me on the text line. F you, F you, F you. You're cool. F you. And what have you just done? What has Javi Baez done? What has Lindor done? Do you think that anybody watching these games is like, oh, he's right?
Well, it doesn't matter what they do, because if they turn it around and start winning, they can thumbs down the fans all they want to. Do the fans really care if they win a World Series while they're thumbs downing guys?
You're going to lose the crowd, my friend. Yeah, and there's nothing worse than that kind of death.
Because you got to know your market too. And New York fans are just some of those fans. They're jerks. We know they're jerks. That's just how they're wired.
I know we're up against a break.
Flip them off when they do that too.
I'm just going to say this. The biggest argument I get about guys who flip their bats when they hit home runs, even if they're down like 47 points, they hit a home run, they want to stand there and celebrate. You know what? If you don't want the fans to boo you, do better.
That's what I said. Do better. And you know what? Maybe if you're getting booed as a player,
they're just being jerks while they do better.
Let that fuel you to do better, but not try to get revenge. That's so dumb. Seriously, there's so much wrong here.
They are doing better. It's the fact that they're big jerks on the back end of it.
Yep. And, people have a way of finding the door when that kind of thing happens. Trust me. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits, including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And after hearing about all the success these other guys have had here at the radio station with Valley Medical Weight Loss, I finally joined in. And man, am I glad I did. I'm already seeing results. What's great about Valley Medical Weight Loss is how easy they make it to lose weight at any one of their 3 Valley locations. And they help you customize a plan that works for your lifestyle and, more importantly, your wallet. Get with them today and see what program works best for you. Mention Fanatic, you'll get your first week free. Check them out at valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Mortgage rates keep dropping. Whether you're looking to reduce your payments, pull cash out, or shorten your term, take advantage of District Lending's new lower rates. 15-year fixed rates as low as 1.99% APR and 30-year fixed rates as low as 2.49% APR. Call or text 480-694-7890 or check out districtlending.com/rates. That's districtlending.com/rates. NMLS 183-5285, Equal Housing Lender. Mortgage rates subject to change. This is not a commitment to lend.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees. 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602 ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Coming up on Friday at 7 p.m. after the race setup with Randy White. You got AIA football making its return. St. Mary versus Brophy Prep for the first game of the season here on 1580 The Fanatic. Then, of course, on Saturday, we got some college football for you. LSU is at UCLA. I would imagine this is going to be a closer contest than UCLA versus Hawaii. That was just that was sad. To have a plane ride like that and get your ass handed to you the way Hawaii did, that was just almost as sad as when Arizona took a plane ride to Hawaii and got their ass handed to them by Hawaii. That's sadder. That's way sadder.
Well, you got to think about it this way, though, Jeffco. They took a plane ride to Los Angeles.
Yeah,
and they got their butts kicked. Yeah. And where are they flying back to?
Hawaii. So yeah, I guess they are still the real winner if you think.
Listen,
about it.
if I could have played baseball in college, I would have picked Hawaii, University of Hawaii.
This seems like you'd be on a plane an awful lot.
I don't care.
Do they even have a baseball team at University of Hawaii?
I don't know, and I don't care. I'd go out there and throw coconuts around. I don't care.
Just keep the dream going. You don't want to know the real truth.
Right.
Let's just leave it at that. 888-368-1580. So A-Wings 22 says, oh, Keon, all New York fans are jerks, huh? Well, I guess when you play for a champion once every 20 years, like Phoenix fans, well, your standards would be low, wouldn't they?
I mean, I don't know. First off, I used to be a Yankees fan when I was growing up.
Well, we were talking about the Mets.
They didn't have nationals. Yeah, but my grandma lived in New York, so we were up in New York a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of jerks up there. A lot of jerks up there. Well, that's all I'm saying.
I'm an Arizona fan, and my standards aren't low. And if Ketel Marte turns around after the team sucks this much all year, and I've been going to games, and I've been buying the product, and I've been paying my cable bill so that they can make money, and I've been watching all the games, and then all of a sudden he gets angry because the crowd starts booing him. The crowd that shows up starts booing him. And he starts hitting home runs and doing all this business and turning around and thumbs down. You're damn right I would be upset about it.
I don't know, because the crowd gets to give it back to them. First off, if they're playing better,
that's the only voice the crowd has.
Right. And they're giving you a thumbs down, but they're playing better.
And when they do well, what does the crowd do?
If I'm in the crowd, I'm like, we did it.
Let me ask you a question.
We pressured them into playing better.
Well, what does the crowd do? The crowd is like, this guy did this guy did that. I want to get his jersey. I want to do this. And so you can't take a little booing.
You seem to have a real tit for tat, turnabout is fair play kind of thing going on there. Keon, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. I don't know who the dominant personality was in your upbringing. Was it your dad? Was it your mom?
It was my dad.
Okay, so your dad. Would you, if your dad started giving you a little, would you ever talk back to your dad? Would you ever, just give him some guff like that?
No, first off, my dad's a military guy, so
yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. No, time out. Hold on.
No.
So here's the thing.
I had to be crafty with how I went back at him. You know what I mean? Like my dad liked to be mean with some of his jokes, but he didn't mind if I was too. But I had to be clever going back at him. There was a back and forth.
Okay.
It was give and take.
So in this circumstance, for the players to do what they're doing after the fact, when they're being cheered and then turn around and do that to the crowd, it's childish, it's disrespectful, and it really should not be tolerated by anybody. You may not have a problem with it, and I don't know what's wrong with you that you don't, but...
and my argument isn't that it's not any of those things. It is all of those things. It is certainly childish. It is certainly disrespectful, but like if you're the crowd and you're getting these players to react to what it is that you're doing and they actually are playing better because that's what you wanted, I just don't know that I mind that much.
I just think I figured out what the deal is, Randy.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
He just doesn't like New York people. It's not even about the
is?
game. It's
No,
not about the
that's
crowd.
not true.
He doesn't like people from New York.
That's not true.
You earlier said, and A-Wing 22 took exception of it, you think all New York fans are
jerks. I was being hyperbolic. I didn't mean literally all New York fans. Now, when I say that about Philadelphia
he can
fans,
afford a hyperbolic
I do mean literally all Philadelphia fans. But like, no, I don't. I just mean that like it's the Northeast is a really tough place. It's like Philly, Pittsburgh, Boston, those areas, you got to be a little thick-skinned. People make fun of you. People mock you. And you just kind of deal with it.
And if you're in New York and people are booing you, you're going to give them the thumbs down?
It can go both ways. If you're booing somebody, the players have to be able to take it. But if the players decide to do something goofy like that,
it's not goofy. It's stupid.
It's disrespectful.
I think it's all of those things. Goofy, not in a good way. Goofy isn't dumb. Like, it's just, the fans are going to be okay. New York fans are thick. They can take it.
Tell you what, I'd give them a week off without pay. See how goofy they thought it was then.
Well, because they're still doing work, so they should still get paid.
No, I think the team should suspend them. Because this is this is conduct not becoming, and I'm sure there's going to be something in their contracts about that. Seriously, if I was in charge of stuff, I would knock them out for a week and say, if you're going to continue to do that, we're going to send you to the minors.
Well, I wouldn't even do that. I'd send them home without pay for a week.
And I am trying to play some devil's advocate here because I do think that there is just some wiggle room to say that everyone can see they're being ridiculous. If I see a grown man losing his mind, like I saw an airport video earlier this morning, grown man is just losing his mind in the airport because they said, hey, why don't you wear a mask on the plane? And he just lost it. I'm not taking that person seriously. If I go to a baseball game and I see Francisco Lindor and he's thumbs downing me, I'm sorry. I can't even be offended by that. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Not offended by it. It's just clearly a disrespectful thing. And if it was a Diamondbacks player doing that to a Diamondbacks crowd, I might be the guy handing out batteries at the next game.
But that's different with the Diamondbacks.
Here's a D. Here's a D.
They're not even competitive.
Was that lady had a small hand? Here's a C battery. You could throw that.
No.
A little bit smaller for your hand.
Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. Nah, you don't have to actually, because that you could
hand out batteries. No,
you don't have to physically injure people.
I'll do what I want
for being stupid.
Oh, no. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. So you said everything's okay. According to you, everything's okay.
I didn't say everything's okay. I just said that there's some give and take.
I just remember
if someone boos, a thumbs down back is not like the worst thing in the world happening to you. If you throw batteries at somebody, you're going to hurt somebody.
It's the only voice that the crowd has, either booing or cheering. And if you're not doing a good job, you're not doing a good job, and nobody does anything about it. The only way the crowd can correspond is by booing. Now, if a crowd gets up there and they start yelling at a guy and they're just being abusive and demeaning and degrading, I'm not on with that. But if a crowd boos you because you're not performing well, you know what? Put your big boy pants on and shut the hell up.
I'm just saying,
and play better.
From my point of view as a fan, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than the Mets being how they are before I start booing my team. That's just me. I've had some teams I could boo for. Like those teams were really bad. But
I heck up Luis Gonzalez, and I like him.
But that's not what this Mets team is. They had a hitting slump for a while. That's it.
Yeah.
Papa Mike says, I need to meet this Keyshawn guy. I can show him what a 20-year Army soldier, New Yorker could do to his attitude.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I guess I'm not saying that I want to fight anybody. I don't know where that came from.
Silly Wabbit says, now the thousands of New Yorkers in the Valley are going to storm your station and demand that Phil comes back to replace Keyshawn.
Oh, God. I've finally done it.
Big George says, Keyshawn, you're digging yourself a bigger hole by insulting the entire Northeast America.
I came from Northeast America.
Fans have always had the right to boo. They're paying their hard-earned money to watch a team that's underperforming. If players don't like it, they can find another occupation. Here's the thing. Again, Keyshawn, if I'm doing stand-up and a joke doesn't get a laugh, I get a better joke. Or if I were to get booed, I guess I won't be doing that again. But I would not turn on any crowd.
I never said that it was okay that they did that. I never said that it was okay that they did that. And I feel like both the super fans and everybody are misunderstanding what I am trying to say, which is
I don't think we are.
No, you're because you're trying to say that it's okay what the players did. And I've admitted and I've acknowledged that it's childish what they did. It's stupid what they did.
Thank God it's the end music for the hour.
but I just
you might want
I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
Sheriff Tom says Javi doesn't care. He's heading back to the Cubs, where he's going to get a standing ovation, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see here. Yeah, now a lot of people want to talk about the NFL. Pringle says Javi Baez deserves the Mets, and the Mets deserve Javi Baez.
Yeah, must be a Cubs fan.
That's probably true. All right, guys, when we come back, we are going to talk about some other stuff that happened over the weekend that wasn't Javi Baez and Lindor being dumbasses. We got a bunch of preseason stuff and NFL, boxing, basketball, baseball, you name it. We have a shload of stuff that we got to get to. So come on back, kids. Like I said, 1 hour down and 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I don't actually hate New York.
Yeah, you do.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits, including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-0904774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter, National Safety Council, and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Hey, all you high school students and recent grads. How would you like to be a part of the largest digital yearbook ever? All you have to do is head to xqyearbook.com and upload your photo and a quote. And get this, for every valid submission, XQ Institute will be donating $2 in support of student mental health. This is your photo, your story, and your impact. Visit xqyearbook.com and leave your mark. We can't wait to see your submissions.
KQFM Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. Hey there, sailor. We also have Keyshawn. Boo. Boo. I'm booing him when he does a good job because he doesn't seem to mind. And, of course, you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Yeah, Keon's really stepped in it. Keon has very much stepped in it, saying, I got no problem with what Lindor and Javi Baez are doing over there, giving thumbs down to the crowd after they hit a home run or something. Because they don't like that they got booed before. Bruno Baller says, so Jeffrey, if your stand-up routine was getting booed, you wouldn't tell the crowd they're a bunch of losers with no sense of humor, right? No, I wouldn't. I absolutely would not have done that. I would have, listen, there's a difference between dealing with a singular heckler. Now, if somebody had to be like, Javi Baez, you're a piece of crap. And he goes, up yours, and gives that dude in the crowd the finger. Well, New York would probably respect that.
Probably, yeah.
But the childish thing is to compare Bruno Baller. Let's say I was really unhappy. They booed a bunch of my jokes earlier. So then I do a funny joke and they laugh and then be like, up yours, you losers. Then that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, Bruno Baller, that doesn't make any sense. 888-368-1580. SOL says, Keon, don't let those guys scare you. It's your own opinion. Own it.
I mean, I do.
Shut up, Keon.
I just want to be clear about what it is.
Boo. Boo. Papa, well, no, you did good, so I was booing you. Yeah. Papa Mike says, no, Keon, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Players and crowd will feed off each other, and the players will do better. I've been there. It does occasionally work. But it's just, it's one of those things, man. You'd never turn on the crowd because you lose the crowd.
I think that there's something else that could happen besides losing the crowd. That
somebody pull a gun and start shooting?
Might be more interesting.
More likely
I hope no one's going to pull a gun and start shooting. But if the crowd decides like, hey, we're just going to have this negative back and forth with the Mets, as a person who is outside of the Mets that doesn't really like need that to be a positive thing, I would enjoy watching to seeing where that goes.
The heel in fake wrestling, that makes sense. But a heel in baseball will never make sense. Chief Skulls Burner says, afternoon, gentlemen. I got away on all this booing thing. I agree with Keon. People in New England can suck it. Yankees suck. Boston sucks. They all suck. I stand with Keon.
Wow.
See, here's the thing. Have you ever heard me say the people of New York, I hate them? No, I hate the New York Yankees.
I do not hate the people of New York.
No, Keon said it earlier. Pull the tape. I hate the people of New York.
I said
the greater New York metropolitan area.
The people of New York are jerks. And I said that as just
you said that in
sarcastica.
In sarcastic,
just to embellish a little bit. I have tons of family in New York.
Don't embellish with these people. They're going to eat you alive, kid.
I clearly noticed that. But
Watermelon says he should have been more of a smart ass and tried to get the fans pumped up round in bags. He could have done the Hulk Hogan ear thing. Let me hear, Yeah, that's the thing. You know what? Have success. Enjoy the success. If you don't like when they're booing you, deal with it then. Don't after the fact get their appreciation and shove it back down their throat. Because guess what? Next time you get a home run, nobody's clapping. Mr. Wilbur says, boo, wake me up when we get a real radio show in town. See, now look what you've done. They're going to boo all of us because of you.
No, guys.
Now they're going to boo all of the Mets because of Lindor and Javi Baez.
Don't boo Randy. Don't boo Jeffrey.
Why should they listen to you, Keon?
I can take it.
Yeah. Just the Tip says, hey, Randy, that South Dakota Little League player you mentioned the other day. Wow, what an absolute stud. Over all his innings in the district, state, regional, and Little League World Series, he allowed one hit.
Yeah.
2 dribblers back to the mound, no earned runs, struck out 100 of 113 batters faced. This kid's credits look good. He credits his good fortune to drinking a root beer every night before bed.
Hey, there you go. Listen,
that and hard work.
Good for your bones.
Root beer and hard work. They got magical powers.
I'm with Just Tip. He wants a cold Barks ice, root beer, please. I'll have an A&W over here.
There you go.
Which one has caffeine? Which root beer has caffeine? That'd be the one I want.
I think the A&W. I think. And that's my favorite.
What the hell is up with these people making root beer without caffeine in it?
I love the A&W.
Yeah, that is good stuff.
But my favorite is Dad's root beer.
Do you remember back? This was a couple of years ago, Randy. So remember I was saying I was at the dollar store and I called up my wife and I said, "Hey, I found these giant beer mugs. They'd be perfect for making root beer floats." And she told me, "Don't get them." She said, "Don't get them because we're never going to make root beer floats." I was like, "But I love root beer floats." And she's like, "Yeah, but get one for yourself then, because we're never going to make root beer floats in this house."
Oh.
And I was crushed. I was like, "Oh,
I remember you."
Okay. And I was like, I guess I could just get them for myself, but it's no fun to sit there and eat a root beer float by yourself.
Oh, I love root beer floats.
I know they're the
Jeffco.
best, just regular root beer floats. And so then her mom comes to live with us, right? And now we find out she loves a good root beer float.
What?
Guess what? Suddenly we're having root beer floats in my house.
What?
And you know what her mom says? Her mom says, these mugs are a little small for root beer floats.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Are you good? Honey, because you have that was how I said. That's all I could say. Yeah.
Redemption right there.
There's redemption, but I still don't got no damn mugs. So I think I'm going to stop at the dollar store on the way home and see if they still have those giant mugs.
Do it.
That's the best place to get mugs, by the way, the dollar store.
I think you should. Yeah.
Big George says, no, it's Barks that has the caffeine. Their slogan is Barks has bite. A&W is caffeine free along with hires.
Really? What about Dad's root beer?
I don't know if I've ever had Dad's root beer.
Oh, you got to try it, Jeffco.
All right. Well, is it just easily available? Because I don't know if I've ever even seen it.
I don't know. Sometimes when Miss Kim sees it, she'll buy me a 6-pack of Dad's root beer.
I think they've got it at World Market.
Where's World Market? Oh, that's right. Washington, D.C. or
no, they've got a World Market here, actually. I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Boogie says he had a great draft. He says, I would be champion in Delta Blender Force League 5. It's not, it's just Blender League 5. NFL.com says I graded out of their scale. That's how well I did.
Wow.
A++++.
I think you're lying. He says, do you remember when Randy Moss made the touchdown, pretended to moon the Green Bay Packer fans? Yeah. None of the fans complained. It only made the Green Bay Packers fans boo him louder. It also made them like him a little bit too. But Randy Moss was not on the Packers. We're talking about how the Mets are making boo faces and stuff at their own fans. It's different when it's somebody else's fans. Beer Bob says, yes, Barks root beer does have caffeine. Yes. And that is the correct tagline, Big George. Moist One says, I've never wanted to be mugged more than after this root beer float, and I'm into some pretty kinky stuff.
Ooh.
No idea what he's talking about. Fish Tank says, when's the last time you saw a root beer commercial? Kind of amazing it stays relevant with like zero marketing. Yeah, because it doesn't need the marketing. Everybody loves root beer, and everybody loves root beer floats. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody for all this time. Yeah. Turd Ferguson says, they have world markets everywhere in the Valley. Sometimes it's called Cost Plus, 20th Street in Camelback. There's the one there's one I've never want. I don't understand what you're talking about. He goes, disregard that last part. Thank you, Turd Ferguson. Appreciate that. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, fellas, out of your 3 teams, who do you think will prevail or at least be 500? Well, it's a 17-week season, even for the fantasy football leagues.
I'll be 455 because I always am.
I'm feeling pretty good about my team. I think I will at least be over 500. Keon?
I think I'll be over 500.
Boo! Sorry. Booing my own show.
Do I not have to thumbs down? I don't know what the
I don't know how it works. Let's just go over to Radio Ron's office and boo the hell out of him and see what happens.
Yeah.
See how fast we are replaced by somebody selling Toyotas or something.
Somebody with some common sense would probably be what it is.
What?
Just boo your boss. Let's not do that.
Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, I was projected to finish 3-12 and tied for last, similar to 2 years ago when I lost in the finals. So I take those draft grades with a block of salt. What? Okay. T-Bone says indoor football league this season had 1 game on Friday and 1 on Sunday. The rest of them were all on Saturday. So you're right, Rand. Mr. Pink Eye says, can we ask for fantasy football advice? Yeah, we were going to have CJ or also known as Siege. He will be on with us every Thursday for the fantasy football season. We might have him on Wednesday this week because the game is Next week, I mean, because the game is on a little earlier on Thursday. Haven't worked out the scheduling on that yet, but it'll be either Wednesday or Thursday. So he says, my question, AJ Dillon or Kenyon Drake? Which one would you go with?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's tough.
I don't have it in front of me, so I'd have to look. AJ Dillon or Kenyon Drake? I don't know. Kenyon Drake, is he on the Chargers now? Where is he on? Rams, Chargers? Where did he go after Arizona?
He's not on the Cardinals.
I know that. I think he went to he went somewhere where he's going to be in a running back by committee in California. Was it? What team was it? Was the 49ers? I don't know.
No.
He is with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Went to the Raiders. Okay. AJ Dillon, I think probably. I don't know. If you're in a running back by committee, I get nervous. I don't like that. You can ask Mr. Pink Eye, but I wait till a real grown-up is here, and we'll have a real grown-up every week. Big George says, I think texters are screwing up a lot of the metaphors and cliches. It's a grain of salt, not a block of salt. Easy there, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Big the Berg says, Phoenix Rising is like every other league in the Blender Leagues, but Premier League. It's the only league that matters. What is he talking about? I don't know. Moist One says, why the hell isn't there an A&W here in the Phoenix area? There used to be. There did used to be an A&W, but I don't know. They don't have restaurants here anymore, do they?
Yeah.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, you got to try a root beer float with that not your father's alcoholic root beer. Great treat with a buzz. Yes, and by the way, we have determined in an emergency session of the Man Card Commission that a beer float is acceptable and not a man card violation because it's a dessert made with beer as an ingredient, not adding something else to the beer. So
that's correct. Yes,
it is okay to have a beer float and not just a root beer float. SOL says A&W on draft. That is the pinnacle of root beer. Where can you find it? Baby Got Dak says, really, Keon? I'm from New York. Okay. We're just passionate fans. We're not jerks. Get it straight, Keon. By the way, there is a world market in Queen Creek over by Target. I'll be darned. I have no idea.
Yeah. I like New Yorkers are passionate. And I do think that New Yorkers just say things bluntly, say it like it is. So they come across as jerks. I don't mean like you're literally all jerks.
Boogie says Dad's root beer does not have caffeine. Oh, that's a shame. Can you add it? Maybe just drop like a no-dose
drops.
Yeah.
You just get your caffeine bottle out. You drop a little eyedropper there, a couple of drops in there.
Well, I think you just crush a no-dose.
Yeah, I like that. You get your caffeine bottle out, you suckle up a little bit in there and just drop it in there. Oh, yeah.
So Good Cat says, what's up, gentlemen? Stuff.
Meow, meow.
Yeah, meow, meow, little kitten. Big George says, Berg is making fun of us fantasy football players who are not in the Premier League. He's saying we're peasants. Well, you are. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah. Shooter McGavin says, did anyone else get kicked out to auto draft while drafting live? I saw one guy have a problem, but that was about it. I think it was a pretty successful draft across 10 different leagues. To have that many people all drafting at the same time, as we were doing the draft, I thought we should have maybe staggered it. But yeah, well, I think it worked out pretty well.
Good
for
to
most
know
people.
We didn't single-handedly crash NFL.com.
I'd be okay with that. Fish Tank says, no, Keon, seriously, everyone from New York, they are jerks. The Berg says, passion is everything. Yuck the Yankees. Chief Skulls Burner says, root beer floats are disgusting. Ice cream does not belong in soda. It's wrong. It's wrong, to be fair.
It's not soda. It's root beer.
It's a good point. No, I'm sorry, Chief Skulls Burner phone. I invalidate your response and possibly your existence. Heavy Metal Maniac says, that's weird. I don't know they had caffeine that you could buy straight up and put in beverages. It's called crushing a no-dose in there, man. They don't actually have that. King of Kitten says, sup, gentlemen. Here we go. I got a friend who works at Channel 12. He basically empties trash cans, but he works over there on East Van Buren. Anyway, he told me as soon as Channel 12 is able to ditch primetime undesirable national programming, it is on. So the Cardinals and Saints got canceled. At the same time, Channel 12 had both Cardinals football and NASCAR on the Saturday night primetime schedule. The race went over to Channel 3 locally, and when the football game was canceled, 12 News decided that a monsoon special and local Saturday evening news would garner better ratings than the race itself. Just saying. That was an awful lot to say right there. And usually it's a Kyler Murray joke, but it turned out it wasn't.
Well, I think the depending on what they got their share of the Phoenix market, the damn race won.
It'll be interesting to see what those numbers actually have to say. So anyway, there's more stuff that happened over the weekend than, just Javi Baez being a jerk and, our fantasy football drafts. Anybody seen any of that fight between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley? No. I mean, I watched it as God intended on YouTube later.
I saw a little bit of it on Twitter.
I ain't paying for it.
But no.
I think Tyron Woodley let him win. I don't think that Tyron Woodley really boxed and fought as hard as he could. He had him stunned and wobbly, and then he just never did anything else. And as I'm watching, I'm like, this guy could just go ape bleep on Jake Paul, but he's not. So I wonder if the fix was in, man.
I don't know if the fix was in because I read something that Tyron Woodley made more money from this fight than he has in all of his fights in the UFC. And
so he took a beating to get paid.
Yeah. And he already asked for a sequel fight with Jake Paul. I think he wants to try and double down. And then
he's got his money now. Now he wants his pride back.
Yeah. He's going to kick his ass in the second fight.
Well, here's it. Punches, Paul 71, Woodley 52. Total thrown 207 by Paul, 163 by Woodley. It was 34% hit rate on Paul, 32% for Woodley. So that tells you something. Woodley could have thrown more punches, and he had him wobbled. And if he'd have gone off on him like a spider monkey, he could have won this thing.
There was one shot where you could tell if he had hit him in the middle of the ring instead of against the ropes, Jake Paul would be asleep.
Yeah, he'd be down on the ground. Absolutely. So a lot of that didn't make sense, and it was a split decision. So I guess Jake Paul won it. How do you win a split decision? I never understand that.
It's because there's three judges. So if two of the judges say you and one judge says the other guy, it's not a unanimous decision. They're split.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Yeah. When I hear split, I think it's even. Yeah, that'll teach me. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like this could have been rigged. I don't like to say that very often. Randy, you know that. I'm always the first person to say, whoa, easy on the rigged stuff.
Yeah.
But this one, if you side,
I don't think it was rigged. I think it was Tyron Woodley making that decision on his own.
Why would he decide to lose the fight on purpose? There's no guarantee that he'll get another fight with Jake Paul, and there's no guarantee he'll get paid. You know what I'm saying? And if you're Jake Paul, do you fight that guy again? No, we've done that. Moving on to somebody else.
That's true. I just think Tyron Woodley, you take the gamble there because if you do get him to agree to another fight, it's another payday for you and a shot to actually kick his ass.
If it's real, it's textbook Tyron Woodley as he was in the MMA. But I feel like it's fake, which I think is a lot of the Jake Paul and Logan Paul fights. That's what I think. All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, more stuff that happened over the weekend, and we'll get back into some NFL too here in a little bit. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits, including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-09047774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Do you have great credit? And are you good with your money? If so, I bet you're in a low-rate 15 or 30-year mortgage. But guess what? You're in the wrong loan. I guarantee it. You see, on a Life Changer loan, not only will your monthly payments go down, but you'll probably pay off your mortgage in under 5 years without changing a dime of spending habit. Sound too good to be true? It's not magic. It's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MB1002031, NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online,
You better have a good excuse.
yeah, we've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love.
Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk.
And you'll love every bit of it.
Very well.
Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Get it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And speaking of 1580thefanatic.com, you're running out of time. If you are not signed up for the NFL picks contest, you're missing out on the chance to win $1,580 for first place or $500 for second place. Get on over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up for the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. And listen, if you did it last year, you're already in there. But make sure you've got it all set up and it's all working for you. Make sure you remember your password and stuff. But if you haven't, well, go establish your account with Gridiron Games and make sure you're in the right place. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, click on the Harmon Solar logo right there, under where it says 1580 The Fanatic, Harmon Solar NFL Picks Contest. It'll take you to another page where it has a password, has the information and the link to the Gridiron Games. So go do that thing. 888-368-1580. Hamilton Porter says, it's funny. Jeffrey calls pro wrestling fake, but he'll watch a fake boxing match. Listen, I don't know if a boxing match is going to be fake or not when I start watching it. Like, I didn't know that Conor McGregor fighting old Floyd Mayweather was fake till I was watching it. Then I'm like, wait a minute. You hope for the best with the boxing match because it's not supposed to be fake. It's supposed to be real, right? But when you're watching it and you start to see stuff that don't make sense, you're like, how about that? Yeah, no, I will not watch fake wrestling, but boxing, I'll watch it until it starts to be fake all the time. I ain't paying for that fight for the risk it might be fake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk you take when you sit down and watch a guy that's not a boxer fight another guy who's not a boxer. Funny stuff could always happen, especially one guy's a YouTuber. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the good old boxing that I'm used to.
Hamilton Porter still trying to make the case. Wrestling, scripted, yes. Predetermined outcome, yes. Fake, hell no. Hell yes. Come on. Everything you just said beforehand makes the point. It's fake. Are they really doing the little stunts? Are they really pretending to slap each other in the chest muscles? Are they slapping themselves to help make it sound like somebody hit them? Yeah. Okay. So you got to lift weights and work out and be energetic and athletic to do it. Don't make it a sport. It's fake. It is fake. Chamoy says, FYI, all boxing is fixed. Are we really to believe that? All boxing is fixed?
I don't think so. I if you're just watching just on a random Saturday night, a couple of guys get together you've never heard of. Is that fight fixed? No, I don't think so.
Is there some that are fixed because fellows with broken noses are trying to make sure that they make some money? Yeah, I'm sure there's some of that out there. Yeah.
And there's a little bit of gaming the system too, where guys will avoid somebody until they're too old to actually do any damage. Like that happens.
Sure.
But that's not being fixed. That's just, it's not good for the sport, but that's not the same thing as a fixed sport.
I'm not ready to say it's all fake. What do you think, Randy?
I think there's a fake edge to it. You know what I mean? Sort of like an entertainment fake edge. Get some of the bettors going out there, get them all frothy.
Yeah. So you think based on matchups, or you think just based on somebody's going to take a fall?
Yeah, either way. Yeah. I think there's sort of that kind of jagged edge these guys walk with some of this stuff.
Chamois says, no, listen, that's how Woodley fights, though. He has great power as a puncher, but for some reason he never finishes. That was his whole MO back in the UFC days. Yeah, I remember that. That is a true statement, Chamois. Fubar 1000 says, the great Fubar is in League 2. Okay. Berg says, Keon needs to close them blinds. That sun glare looks brutal. Brutal like mustard in a hot dog, or watching Phoenix Rising soccer.
Wow.
Wow. I have the blinds fixed. I can't speak to the Phoenix Rising soccer.
What's brutal about that? Are they losing or something? I thought they're always winning. King of Kittens says there's an A&W root beer and burger stand in Eloy. It's on the road to Tucson.
Hey,
I have a question. Do you have to go all the way to Tucson?
No.
All right. How far away is that? It's a 2949 North Toltec Road in Eloy.
Well, from where you're at, it's not too far.
Fantastic. Mr. Pringle says, hey, let's ask the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, if he thinks wrestling is fake.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the American Dream does not believe there's anything fake about the great sport of wrestling. And when I get in there and I get my unitard going, and you get the sweat all flowing, and you get your opponent in there, and both of you get all frothy. There's no fake about it. You are two men trying to beat each other. The great sport of wrestling. Listen, Daddy, it's true as the American Dream is alive today.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's as true as the American League. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. It is as true as Dusty Rhodes is alive today. Hamilton Porter says it's hard but never finishes. Whitley's wife said the same thing. Hello. Fairweather Dan says, so what's the difference between root beer float and a brown cow? Is there a drink called a brown cow?
I don't know.
Is this going to turn into some really horrible joke that I wish I'd never heard?
My fingers are crossed that it's not.
Yeah. Cheese Skulls Burner says, you don't want to stop at the Eloy A&W unless it's your last supper on the way to prison in Eloy.
Could be.
Okay. All right. So there is a little bit of weather that is happening down there in New Orleans. Wait, is it going to hit New Orleans? You're saying New Orleans has no power, but did the storm hit New Orleans direct? Is it like Katrina all over again? What's the current situation there?
Yeah, no, it hit New Orleans. I believe the eye of the storm was just west of New Orleans. Kind of following this whole thing, it was crazy to see.
They got flooding in New Orleans again.
There's a lot of flooding, but the great thing about this is what they learned from the last time. They were able to institute this time, and there were a lot of fixes, repairs made, a lot of attention paid to the New Orleans flood system. So it looks like right now, although there's a lot of damage there, and there's several million people without power, but my understanding was that was not because of the infrastructure. There was several older electrical towers that had toppled during the storm. It had 100-mile-an-hour sustained winds at sometimes during this storm, and it took those towers down. So a lot of people are dealing with a lot of damage, but it's not. I don't think it's as bad as it was before.
Are we having less issues with the loss of life? Or is
don't know yet.
Yeah,
don't know yet.
I'm gonna be hopeful on that.
Yeah.
Fish Tank says, you think with all these hurricanes, folks would stop living where they keep happening. Up north in Minnesota and Fargo and that whole Dakotas area, every spring you got flooding. And you think, why don't these people just move out of the flood zones? Why don't you move someplace where, maybe the same disaster doesn't happen over and over and over again? So I don't know if they made life-saving changes to the infrastructure of New Orleans.
Oh, I think they did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then here's hoping. And let's, of course, best thoughts for everybody. I mean, that's just a completely pointless thing to say. I always just sort of wrinkle and say when somebody gives the thoughts and prayers. You know what I mean?
Why?
Well, that's the bare minimum of what you can do, isn't it? My thoughts and prayers are with you.
What is the Hannibal Buress joke about when people give you thoughts and prayers? He goes, well, why don't you just go make me a sandwich? That's way more useful.
Yeah, I'll make New Orleans a sandwich. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, who do I mail it to?
Yeah, not everybody. It'll just a person, a sandwich.
Several million people without power today. Who're going to mail that to?
I don't know anybody in New Orleans right now. So if somebody gives me an address of somebody in New Orleans that needs a sandwich, I'll make it. I'll send it. I'll put it in the mail. We got a post office right over here.
Yeah.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, you think wrestling's fake? Look up a pic of Ilja Dragunov after he beat Walter. Face was busted up and his chest looked like ground meat. I have no idea who or what you're talking about. And I'll pass. Hey, I'm going to talk about something that Randy always gets excited about. Shohei Ohtani. Did you know he has stolen 20 bases and he is tied for 8th in Major League Baseball this season?
Really? Tied for 8th?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Stole 20 bases.
That's great.
He struck out 129 batters this season. He's hit 40 home runs, if I'm not mistaken.
Great.
And he's got 20 stolen bases.
Well, that's wonderful. Good for him.
Okay. I'm just saying, you seemed angrily anti-Shohei Ohtani. So, but I thought, well, I said
from the very beginning, I'm not anti-Shohei Ohtani. I'm just tired of hearing Tim Kirchin and the rest of these think they know it all baseball writers who continue to slobber over Shohei Ohtani like they've never seen a baseball game before. This guy is not the MVP.
Okay, fine. I'm not calling him the MVP, Randy. But if I told you a guy had 20 stolen bases, he has struck out 129 and hit 40 home runs, you'd be like, holy crap, that's pretty impressive right there.
Well, I mean, that's a good season. Definitely. He's a super talented kid.
If I only told you one thing about a guy, you'd be like, hey, not bad. If I said, hey, Randy, I called you up. Yeah, I've been playing in Major League Baseball for a while now, and I got 20 stolen bases. You'd be like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
or if I called you and said, hey, guess how many people I've struck out so far this year? 129.
Nice.
You're like super duper. And if I said, I stole 20 bases, you say, good hustle, O'Brien. Well done. Even if I only gave you one of those three, you'd be like, Jeffrey O'Brien had himself a real nice season right there.
And this is a great season for
Ohtani's done all three.
And
I'm not saying anoint him. I'm saying maybe give him a little bit of a break when you go on your Shohei Ohtani rants.
Well, yeah, I think I'm being misunderstood here. That I'm angry at Shohei Ohtani. I'm not accepting him as a Major League Baseball player, and the truth couldn't be farther away from that type of thinking. This kid is obviously a super talented Major League Baseball player. He is not. Let me repeat and underline and bold that the MVP of this damn league. I don't care what the baseball writers say. I don't care.
Hamilton Porter says, if Ohtani was a Diamondback with those numbers, I bet Randy would be singing a different tune.
I bet he wouldn't.
Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, if I'm not mistaken, you were the one that was bashing on Shohei Ohtani, that what he's doing is no big deal. No, I've never bashed on Ohtani. What are you talking about?
I don't recall that at all.
Chief Skulls Burner says, Jeffrey, when did you become a sandwich artist? I thought the radio gig was paying off.
No, Jeffrey makes amazing sandwiches.
Yeah, listen, I always got to keep my options open. Went to Subway University. COVID-19 took out the power in New Orleans, Randy. Everything bad these days is due to COVID-19.
No, I don't think so. There were 5 giant power structure, superstructure, like in power poles that fell into the river.
Big George says, fine, I'll send my condolences to the people of New Orleans instead of my thoughts and prayers, if that's more sincere.
You send your thoughts and prayers. That's all you
send whatever you want. I just, I don't know. We got to come up with something better than that.
Yeah, it just kind of, it's a thing that you can say. And even if you mean it, I just don't know what anyone's supposed to do with it. It's not that it's a bad thing, though, to say.
Sucks to be you. There's one. You could use that. Tiger Paws says, so the Harmon pickup is separate from the draft. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. The Harmon Solar fan pick'em is separate from the draft that we did this weekend. Yes, it is. He says, yeah, I'm already out a player in my draft on Saturday. Didn't even make it to week 1. Yeah, all right. So just to make sure everybody's clear, Harmon Solar is pulling up some prize money for the Daily Blender Fantasy Football League winners. If you win your league over there, it's $100. But for the NFL Fan Pick'em contest, you win that thing with first place overall, $1,580. Second place gets $500. So that, yes, they're very different things, Tiger Paws. Just Tip says, WWE is fake. Just because you can get injured, don't make it real. For God's sake, you can get hurt wearing Speedos and putting a roofie in somebody's office whiskey. Doesn't mean those are real sports.
Hello.
You're damn right about that. Baby Got Dak says, speaking of sandwiches, the best test for a man to give a woman to see if she's a keeper is ask her to make her a sandwich. If she just slaps a few pieces of meat and one slice of cheese, not many condiments, get rid of her ASAP. If she takes her time, puts thought into adding lettuce, tomato, homemade condiments, and lots of meats and cheese, then she's a keeper. Can I respond to you? That's from a woman. So I think she says, ask her nicely, because what it sounded like there is, woman, make me a sandwich. And boy, she better come back with a good one. No,
I think it's a thoughtfulness test.
Yes. So she's like, oh, honey, can you make me a sandwich? You know, one of those things, I think. Let's see. An unnamed texter, a new texter here. Let's see. Jeffrey, if you're going to keep dissing pro wrestling as fake, then you should stick to sports and documentaries, since movies and TV shows are fake too. That is the worst argument I've ever heard, 0781. If I'm going to keep dissing pro sports, it doesn't make any sense.
Pro wrestling.
Yeah, it's fake. Fake wrestling.
It is okay to like fake things. It's just that it's not a sport.
And I don't care for it. But if I liked it, yeah. I mean, listen, there's some movies I don't like. There's some movies I do. Fake wrestling, I don't like. Real wrestling, I can take it or leave it, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, sorry. Your argument is invalid. But nice to meet you. Let's see. Good Cat says, okay, we can cut Wentz now. He's on the COVID list. What the hell, man? I don't know. Maybe everything bad that was going to happen to him can happen preseason, and maybe this is a good omen that he'll make it through the entire season.
Could be.
And then we can go, I don't know, a comfortable 9-8.
Yeah, it's like a nice solid.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I don't know. Like a lot of the COVID stuff is surprising to me. I didn't realize that Ryan Tannehill was on the COVID list.
Yeah,
and I learned that as I was drafting him. So. There you go.
Oh, brother. It's all happening fast. You got to keep your head on a swivel there. SOL says, Jeffrey, make me a sandwich. Kiss my ass. The Fish Tank says, Keon, just so you know, there are 0 women in Scottsdale that will make you a sandwich. Dude, there's 0 women in Scottsdale who can spell sandwich. Oh, boy. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate. Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Mortgage rates keep dropping. Whether you're looking to reduce your payments, pull cash out, or shorten your term, take advantage of District Lending's new lower rates. 15-year fixed rates as low as 1.99% APR and 30-year fixed rates as low as 2.49% APR. Call or text 480-694-7890 or check out districtlending.com/rates. That's districtlending.com/rates. NMLS 183-5285, Equal Housing Lender. Mortgage rate subject to change. This is not a commitment to lend.
It's time again for the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Pickup Contest. Send your picks each week to see if you are this year's best game picker. Sign up at 1580thefanatic.com. Play against the Fanatic Air Staff and all the listeners. You can score the grand prize of $1,580 or the second place prize of $500. Provided by our friends at Harman Solar. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pickup Contest. Exclusively from your home for the NFL and Super Bowl 56 in Arizona.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-09047774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Mortgage rates keep dropping. Whether you're looking to reduce your payments, pull cash out, or shorten your term, take advantage of District Lending's new lower rates. 15-year fixed rates as low as 1.99% APR and 30-year fixed rates as low as 2.49% APR. Call or text 480-694-7890 or check out districtlending.com/rates. That's districtlending.com/rates. NMLS 183-5285, Equal Housing Lender. Mortgage rate subject to change. This is not a commitment to lend.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And all right, so it has been straightened out. Yes, Boomer Sooner. It was Randy that had issues with the coronation of Shohei Ohtani. With some writers, not me. That was Randy. So, yes, you are correct. Cohen's Kiddo says, I raised my frosted AW mug to the pumps and levees for working in New Orleans this time.
Yeah.
That is something. As long as you can engineer it, as long as it will work and everybody is safe, and then as long as everybody evacuates when it's a good idea to evacuate, then we will not have to worry about a replay of Hurricane Katrina. So that's good to hear. So hopefully there'll be a minimal amount of damage and even less human damage. 888-368-1580. Ukla the Mock says, so the old NFL.com said, I suck as bad as my Texans, and I'm only going to win one game this year. Hi, Randy and Keon.
Howdy.
Hey. Just a Tip says Shohei Ohtani is doing on the ball field what hasn't been done since Babe Ruth has done it.
Blah, blah.
He is an amazing player, but no, he's not an MVP.
Thank you very much.
There you go. You blah, blah, blah him right up to, oh, thank you very much.
What would make him an MVP? Because I do think that those are MVP caliber numbers.
I mean, listen, Barry Bonds, and I don't like Barry Bonds either as a ball player. I think he's a cheater, and he doesn't belong in any of the record books. But the guy was a 40-40 guy. 40 stolen bases, 40 home runs. The guy led the league several times in batting average, although he cheated about it. Now, listen, if Shohei Ohtani gets up there and he leads the league in strikeouts, which he doesn't, leads the league in stolen bases, which he doesn't, and leads the league in home runs, which he's very close of doing that, well, then I might start considering him a most valuable player candidate. But just because Tim Kurchin and the rest of these, guys who've never played past Little League get out there and start writing all these, flowery good tidings of Shohei Ohtani, give me a break.
All right. Well, let me just put my head in the lion's mouth a little bit here. You mentioned he's not in the lead of any of those statistics.
Well, I believe he's either 1 or 2 in home runs.
Oh, okay. Well, high on the list of home runs, doing within the top 10 of stolen bases, and of course, 132 strikeouts. Maybe you'd like him to have more, but don't all those things together count for something to help make up for the difference? Some of the categories. No. All right. Listen, you know better than I do about baseball, so I ain't gonna question you or try to drive your blood pressure up. I just feel like maybe
I appreciate this guy. He has a hunger and a passion to play this game, and he's even said, "I want to be the best ball player to ever play the game." Fantastic. And I believe at some point in his career, he might win multiple MVPs. It just ain't this year. It ain't right now.
So we were talking a little bit about what happened over there in New Orleans with Hurricane Ida. Everybody gets ready. Everybody gets prepared. Everybody makes a run on the grocery stores and gets stocked up, make sure that they have what they need. I saw somebody had a suggestion. I thought it was brilliant. it's the kind of thing we should think about, how, maybe in the back of our heads here. Somebody went to the old Circle K there, got themselves a bunch of bags of ice, poured it with a lot of drinks, sodas, and waters into their washing machine, their clothing washing machine, because they said that thing will act as a really nice cooler. And then after it's all over, it just drains naturally once the ice melts. Brilliant. I thought that was amazing. Wow. That way you can leave your freezer closed, and hopefully that will, and not ruin your food and stuff, or you just take some of it out there and shove it in the ice. I just thought that was just a hell of a move right there, man.
Yeah. In the washing machine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, not the dryer, because you'd open it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a front load washing machine, that ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as people are getting ready and stocking up, then run to the store, grab a little water, grab some food, grab snacks, because it could be a while, right? Well, keep in mind, New Orleans, home of the Saints, but also home of the Pelicans. Yeah. Now, Pelican fans still hate Anthony Davis, I guess, because what they're saying is, and there's some video and photographs to prove this. Remember when Ruffles came out with Anthony Davis Ruffles? And his big old face is on there?
Yes, okay.
Well, the reports are that the stores are cleaned out of everything but the Ruffles with his face on it.
Wow.
There is a hurricane coming. People may very well die. You may starve to death. But oh, hell no. I ain't eating these Ruffles with his face on it.
Starve to death before I eat an Anthony Davis Ruffles.
Yeah. And that is just, that's dumb.
It's conviction.
I'll eat anything. But they are serious about their Pelicans and Saints in New Orleans. So that was a crack up right there. 888-368-1580. Another, not a new texter, but somebody who's been on the text line in the past once or twice.
All right.
7748 says, there's plenty of women in Scottsdale who will make you a good sandwich. My girlfriend makes a good grilled cheese with mayo instead of butter, which is amazing, by the way. What do you think of drafting Justin Fields? I think he'll average more fantasy points than Kyler Murray. And leave Shohei Ohtani alone, Randy. He's a great player and should absolutely be in the MVP talks. This texter saved up every thought over the last 2 hours and shoved it in one text.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way about Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and sorry you put mayonnaise on grilled cheese. That sounds disgusting, but hey, I've not tried it, so maybe you're right.
Yeah.
But let's get back to drafting Justin Fields. He's starting?
No, Andy Dalton starting.
Yeah, I thought the Red Rocket. Yeah. Okay. So if you're going to put him on your bench as a possibility, depends on how deep your bench is. It's kind of a waste of a spot, but Moist one in the Daily Blender Premier League, his last two picks from the draft were Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick.
Now that's conviction.
Well, here's the thing I thought, because remember last year I was dared to draft Andrew Luck and keep him on my roster the entire season. That was part of the boogie bet that got him wearing that t-shirt. That was part of that bet. And so when I saw Moist One do that, I was like, wow, he's doubling down on the boogie-dom right there. And of course, then promptly he lost J.K. Dobbins, more booginess in the Premier League. I think Moist One's season is not looking good. I don't remember where I was going with this. What was I talking about?
Yeah, the Justin Fields thing, that if you keep him on your bench, and your bench is particularly deep, which is what I did. I actually did draft Justin Fields.
Here's the thing that's disappointing. So Moist One drafts Colin Kaepernick, Tim Tebow, and I thought, good for you, man. That's funny. He immediately after the draft dropped them both. And I was like, boo. I booed him. Funny enough, I booed him on the discussion board in our league. It was just like, boo.
Well, yeah,
don't do the joke and then just immediately cash out. You should have waited.
You've got to follow through on that.
Yeah, at least one of them he should have kept. Whatever. He probably realized, if I'm actually going to try to win this year, this was a bad idea. And I don't feel so bad because Evan Ingram was my second to last pick in our league. So if he doesn't come back, and I got a couple other tight ends, so I'm not too bent out of shape about it. Hey, by the way, mayo sandwich eating guy, what's your texter nickname? You should have a texter nickname, my friend.
Mayo grilled cheese.
I might just put it up there. What do we call them? Grilled cheese mayo? Seems kind of clunky. You better come up with a better texter nickname, 7748, or else we're going to come up with a bad one for you. And that's always a bad idea. Nostramarcus says, thoughts and prayers to Moist One for his 4th round pick, Dobbins, going down. Somebody make that man a sandwich.
Wow.
Mr. Pringle says, Randy, I agree. Ohtani should not be MVP simply because his team isn't anywhere near contention. I don't think that should matter. But who do you and your accomplices have in the American League MVP race? Personally, Pringle has Aaron Judge.
Well, I mean, Aaron Judge has been playing pretty good. Certainly, I mean, he could be in the discussion, I guess. But I still don't consider him the MVP. I think what Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is doing in Toronto, I think if you look at his numbers, that's one guy. I'd have to look at the numbers right now. But I can assure you it is not, as far as the American League MVP goes or the MVP of baseball, it is not Shohei Ohtani.
How bad are you going to lose your mind if they actually name him MVP?
I'm not. I mean, it's just kind of the period we live in now. It doesn't matter what I think, and I understand that. But I listen. As long as I have a voice, I'll use my voice to say what I think.
Keon, your voice. Who do you got as AL MVP?
I actually do have Shohei Ohtani because of what you said earlier, that he does a lot of things at a high enough level that even though he's not the best at them, he's really damn good and definitely in the top 5 of a lot of those stat categories. And when you got a guy that's pitching in the top 5 and hitting in the top 5, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. It'll be, when do they announce all that anyways? Is it during the playoffs?
That's during the postseason.
Yeah. Flying Monkey says, I've got 3 fantasy football teams. Excuse me. I got 3 fantasy football teams, and all 3 of them, Justin Fields is on my bench. Yep, a lot of people are expecting that the Red Rider, the Red Rocket, the Andy Dalton, the ultimate Ginge is going to fail, and that they will put Justin Fields in. So eventually, that may pay dividends or not. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I had a chance to take him, and I thought, you know what? No, I got Justin Herbert, and I've got Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston is my project backup quarterback. I feel like that one's going to pay off before Justin Fields does.
I would be shocked if Justin Fields isn't starting by week 5, because that's a tough stretch to start the season for the Bears. It's a really, really rough schedule early that it's possible Andy Dalton gets beaten up.
Berg says, let's not get Randy going, people. Ohtani for president, he says. President of the MVP of Major League Baseball. Berg is just poking at you there, Randy.
It's okay.
Fish Tank says, I'm not even saying Ohtani is the MVP, but if he's not, who is right now?
Well, Shohei Ohtani right now has how many stolen bases? You say a
20.
Oh, he's got 20. Yeah. Yep. Starling Marte for the Oakland Athletics has 42.
How many home runs does that guy have?
We're not talking home runs. We're talking stolen bases. You want to talk about home runs? Shohei Ohtani has 41, and he leads the American League in home runs.
Okay. So what I'm saying is he may not be number 1 in the other category.
How many runs has he produced? Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays has produced 95.
You know, you got to adjust for the
Ohtani's
difference
produced
between
85.
Canadian home runs and American home runs. The transition, it's not accurate.
The currency exchange of run to run ratio. Yeah,
you're gonna have to do a little math on that. Fubar 1000 says, great rant, Randy. Same way I feel about the Yahoos that can't keep LeBron James out of their mouth. Chief Skulls Burner says, Randy, in baseball, those who can't play either write or umpire. In football, those who can't play either announce, comment, or join the WWE.
Yeah.
That's true. They're thinking about The Rock and John Cena and Lesnar or whatever that weird guy's name is. Intern of Main Event says, nothing says class like a washing machine full of alcohol. What's funny about that is I didn't really said put alcohol in it. I said put your water and sodas or whatever you want to keep cool in there.
Right.
If you're in an emergency situation, class has nothing to do with it. It's called survival. Just saying. SOL says Ohtani is rigged. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. Thunder Snow says, wow, people of New Orleans, they're hardcore out there. Big
Just
George
ask Anthony Davis.
Says, while women in Scottsdale may not make good sandwiches, I heard they have delicious tacos. What? Good Cat says mayo with cheese. Mayo with cheese. Hitting the Nut says use the mayo instead of butter. It goes in the bread easier and makes nice toast in the bread. You know, I just can't. I know I don't like toasted mayo. I know that already. Big Steve from the main event says Vlad Jr., but not Shohei Ohtani. Blue Jays and Angels have similar records. They're both in 4th place in the division.
Yeah, Big Steve wants to start a debate. I just have to do my research, but I can tell you right now, Shohei Ohtani is not the MVP.
Schmitty says, here, Randy. Use that voice God gave you. I agree. Oh, dear God. Okay, the rest of that is just racist as crap, and I'm blocking you now, Schmitty.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I'm not even kidding. You just got blocked. That's... God.
Good Lord.
My eyes do not usually see that sort of horribleness on this text line. And it won't again. Right. Blocked. Holy crap. Shame on you. Let's see. 7748 says Dalton will be starting week 1 and then he's going to be out. He was booed every time he got in the game. Yeah. But if his game plays and the Bears win, he won't be out. One mistake and he will be out. Yeah, you're right. Well, more than one, but enough to lose the game. You'll see what happens. And he also has a question about the Texter nickname, but we'll get back to that. 7748. We will help you. Come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Now at Banana Republic Factory, 50 to 70% off almost everything, including fall-ready favorites. Discover essential sweaters, easy denim, and more from $14.99. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits, including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
If you're considering refinancing or getting a home loan, listen up. This is Dale Hellestray, and when you need a mortgage, the team I use is led by my good friend, Jeff Locks. And here's why. Jeff and his team negotiate with over 50 lenders to find the best possible deal. Your home has gone way up in value over the past year, so why not utilize your home equity to reduce your monthly expenses or even pay off some debts? Interest rates are still at all-time lows, and if you obtained your current mortgage prior to 2020, you can save a lot of money. Here's the best part. There's absolutely no lender fees. Jeff is truly Arizona's low-cost lender with over 30 years of experience. So call Jeff Locks, and if Jeff can't save you money, you'll get a free $50 Amazon gift card. This is a winning play, so call Jeff today, 480-202-0692. That's 480-202-0692.
Jeff Locks, NMLS number 1003782, National Mortgage License number 181106, Bear Financial Group, AZMB-0904774, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey there, you low interest rate mortgage lovers. If you have great credit and are good with your money, I guarantee you're in the wrong loan. Maybe it's time to learn what thousands in the Valley have already figured out. On a Life Changer loan, you can pay off your mortgage in under 5 years without changing one dime of your spending habit. Plus, your monthly payments are cheaper than what you pay now. It's not magic, it's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MB1002031, NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
When the doctor told us about my mom's cancer, it made me feel so helpless until I called the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I spoke with Grace, who patiently answered all my questions. Her support made us feel whole again. Learn more at lls.org.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and a good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keyshawn Rose sitting there pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Big George says, turns out Shohei Ohtani has just been scratched from his start tomorrow after getting hit by a pitch on his wrist on Saturday in a game against the San Diego Padres. Word, though, is he's actually just really had his feelings hurt by Randy's rant.
I don't think that. I don't think Shohei Ohtani even cares. He doesn't give a rip of what I have to say about him. But listen, the bottom line, this guy is a super talented guy. I just don't think he's got the numbers. I don't think he has the strength to be the MVP of the Major League this year. I think there's other people more deserving, and Shohei Ohtani right now is just not there. Can he be there? Absolutely. But I just don't think he's he is an all-star right now.
I think everybody really misunderstood your rant as being anti-Shohei Ohtani when it was really anti-boneheaded sports writers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I am not anti-Shohei Ohtani in any way, shape, or form. I think this kid has a wonderful future in front of him, and I think he has got the great attitude, and it's going to be fun to watch him.
And I actually do agree with Randy to a point, because I think Shohei should be the MVP, but like sports writers had this locked up like a third of the way through the season. They weren't really considering anybody else.
They got excited. They got excited with the hype, and and that sort of now takes away from this a little bit, because I look at his accomplishments, and I feel like he should be in the conversation. So, listen, there's still some more season to be played, so let's just see what happens on that. 7748, and we talked about how he doesn't have a texter nickname. The suggestions were, call the guy Mayo with cheese. Well, he doesn't understand how this works, because he texted in, how do I change my texter nickname? Well, you got to text in and tell us. We're not allowed to text you back, because you have not opted in, and we haven't asked people to opt in, and so it's against the law, really. There have been times where somebody has won a contest, and we were able to give them information because that was a request for information. So in this circumstance, you're going to have to tell us what you want your nickname to be. Understand, so if you're kind of new to the show, everybody on the text line, they tell us what they want their texter nickname to be, or we come up with a nice one for them and they say, oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's how we got Boogie. That's how we got a lot of these people. So you can tell us what you've always wanted your texter nickname to be, what your nickname, because back in junior high, you got the nickname you got, whether you like it or not. Usually it was horrible. Here, pick something badass. We call you Badass Mayo with Cheese. You just got to let us know what you want. Or if you say, I'd like to hear some ideas. Randy White has a whole selection of potentially good texter nicknames just on the standby. He is ready to go at a moment's notice to help you with your texter nickname needs. Randy, what are some of the more current favorites for a good texter nickname?
Well, I mean, we've got a ton of them out here, Jeff. Go let it open up here real quick. But Mac and Cheese is one of them. Fire Farter is one of them. Gosh, where is it at? The Pretender. God Handles, Butt Thunder, yeah, But a Finger. You got Stoned Again. You got Angry Eyes, Snow Caps, Plumber's Crack, The Steel Brow. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, sometimes it could be something about your personality or about where you're from or about who your team is. Things can be combined and put together. So we got about, over 1,500 individually named texters on this text line. So, but don't worry, you'll come up with a good one. And if you pick one that somebody else already has, we'll help you. We'll help you out with that too. Full service in the nickname department here at 1580 The Fanatic. What was your nickname growing up there, Keon? You're not going to tell us, are you?
It was not, I didn't really have like a ton of nicknames growing up. Like I mentioned before, Key, from playing pickup basketball with people, but that's it.
So that's just a cop out. You're not going to tell us your the actual nickname they gave you.
No, I didn't really get one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get one. I guess I just lucked out.
Someday he'll learn to trust us, Randy, and be completely
I know.
Open with us. But
all we can do is bring him along and let him make decisions.
Yeah. Let's see. Floppy Bumper says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Finally got back in town. It's great to hear your voices. Been a long time, but I'm finally home."
Hey, welcome back.
Is Phil still around? No, he's not. We got Keon now. Good Cat says, "I think Pudding Pop or Pothole would be a great nickname."
Oh, yeah.
I think anybody wants to be called Pothole, but Pudding Pop ain't bad. That's not so bad. Boomer Sooner says, "Hey, 7748. Don't even think about trying to take Boomer Sooner 1, 2, 3 or anything like that. That's mine." Okay, easy, Boomer Sooners. Take it easy. You're Hall of Famer. You're a made man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Daylight Drew says, "Work is done. Pour me a Lagunitas and Maker's Mark, please."
You want a Maker's Mark and a Lagunitas?
Did I say that right?
Sounds right.
Senior Wake and Bake says, "Oops, screen moved." Hey, remember Sarsaparilla? Wasn't that an old root beer back in the day? Sarsaparilla, yeah, I like Sarsaparilla. Let's see. He says, "Keon, I got your back, man. Screw New York. I'd have an attitude if half my state was a landfill. Shove that Big Apple where the sun don't shine." Damn.
First off, I appreciate you having my back, but I was not saying screw New York.
You definitely said screw New York. I think we've got that on tape.
Oh boy.
Let's see. "Sorry, but you're wrong, Randy," says Heavy Metal Maniacs. Shohei Ohtani is playing two positions, and doing both well. It's hard enough to pitch, but then be able to go in and pinch hit. That's actually amazing.
So give me his ERA. Is he at the top? And by the way, his batting average this year is what? I know what his batting average is. It's 264. Is that an MVP for you? Just because the guy can hit 41 home runs, that makes him an MVP? And just because the guy can go out on the hill and throw a 3+ ERA, that makes him an MVP?
So basically, we can look at this one of two ways. One, us over here saying, look at all the stuff Shohei Ohtani can do. And he is number one in at least one category. But still, the fact he can do that, plus that, plus that, plus that, that's impressive. Randy is over on the side saying, I see. Jack of all trades, master of just one.
It's about it, yeah.
Number one Rattlers fan says, "The most dominant game all year, the Arizona Rattlers are peaking, and they will be the 2021 champions." Yes, side note, September 12th, 3:00, will be the United Bowl. Is the United Bowl right during week one? I don't know what he's saying. What are you saying there? Your text kind of fell apart there.
Is he trying to communicate that during week one of the NFL, the United Bowl is that the United Bowl where the
Bowl? I think he was voice texting bowl and it came out bull.
United Bowl.
I don't know why. That cracks me up.
The Indoor Football League bowl game, like Super Bowl.
Well, they can't do that on a Sunday at 3:00. Why would they do that? You can't compete with the NFL.
Apparently, that's the way it's shaking out here, Jeffco.
He says, by the way, please call them the Indoor Football League. Stop calling it Arena. It is it Arena? Your text is very confusing. Please, when you get a moment, clarify.
They play in the Indoor Football League, not the Arena League.
Oh. Okay. Chief Skulls Burner says, Puddin' Pop for a nickname? Who wants to be associated with Bill Cosby? Like, don't say no to that, 7748. Let's see. He says, Andy Dolphin, by the way, gave the Chicago crowd a thumbs down when he completed a pass in hopes he could make the Mets team if the football doesn't work out for him. Ookla says, can I change my name to Butt Thunder Bitch? No, you can't. You can't. I'm sorry you drafted Ryan Fitzpatrick, but no, you can't. Floppy Bumper says, yeah, I've got about a month drilling up in northern Nevada. No cell phone service, no Fanatic. It was very sad for a month.
Sorry, man.
Did you guys sound a lot less annoying for some reason when I got back, though? Why is that? Good job, new guys. Rex Terra says, from Xterra, please forgive spell check, but how do you spell Keon? Keon.
There you go.
That is how you spell it. Nice to hear from you there, Rex Terra. The Berg says, 507, save the tape. can edit to say, screw New York. That's right. We can make Keon say, screw New York anytime we want.
Wow.
Cardinal Art says, just fired up the smoker, so it's only right for a cold one, please. Yes, chicken burgers, links, ribeye steaks for the win. Smoked over some pecan wood.
Congratulations.
Nicely done. Average Joe says, I had a great draft the other day. It flew by really fast. You could say it was as short as Kyler Murray. By the way, that's for questioning my Wentz on the injury list ×2. That's just a straight shot at Randy. Papa Mike says, yes, Jeffrey, you said Lagunitas correctly. Very good. Few people get it right. Miss Pringle says, Jeffrey, can I change my texter nickname to Otani is MVP?
Wow.
Daylight Drew says, it puts the Quaalude in the pudding. Oh, Bill Cosby. I was supposed to say that. Look, Bill. And plus, I can't do it. Rick Stera says, oh, thank you. You're welcome. Hey, you guys, this is another reason the Lakers are going to lose. You want to hear another reason the Lakers are going to lose? Rajon Rondo is going to go ahead and come back for 1 year, $2.5 million.
Why is that a reason he's going to lose? Why is that a reason the Lakers will lose?
It's just another old dude on their old team. Just
the geriatric squad.
Old man Lakers. Yeah, I'm just enjoying them just continuing to put on the Geritol.
Rajon Rondo is 35 years old. It's just another guy past his prime on that team.
Going to be a lot of handicap spaces painted over the Staples Center, I guess. Slave Dave says, I had to auto draft again this year. Wound up with Kirk Cousins and Jalen Hurts. What do you think about that combo? Wow, you got to stop being in leagues if you have to auto draft. That's horrible.
Could be worse.
That's pretty rough.
Flying Monkeys says, the starting pitcher for the American League in the All-Star game leads the American League in home runs, and he is not the MVP, huh? Okay.
No.
Well, I'll give you some things because Randy asked earlier about what else is Shohei Ohtani number one at? He is number one in Major League Baseball in home runs with 41.
We'll get another one. Vowels in his name. Go ahead.
Of course. He is number one in extra base hits, which are base hits that are not a single. So doubles and triples and home runs are all extra base hits.
Oh, goody.
He is number one in win probability added with 4.2, and he is number one in wins above replacement at 7.8.
Oh, that's good. That's wonderful.
Does that sway you at all, Randy?
What's his batting average?
Batting average is 264.
Right. Where's his team at right now?
I just feel like everything all clumped together should matter, but I hear you, Randy. Mars Bars 805 says, how about a new texture? No, you're not getting that as a texture nickname. Stop it. Daylight Drew says, are the Sun Devils going to win the South this year? Discuss.
Boy, I hope. This would be the year, wouldn't it? This would be the time for the Sun Devils to rise above and actually take no prisoners. I mean, it would seem like to me this is the most talented squad they've had.
Tomorrow, we're going to have some tickets to the game, by the way, on Thursday.
Hey, there you go.
The Sun Devils game, we have the tickets. So be sure to tune in to the morning show. And, of course, here on the Daily Blender, it is some football action for you guys Thursday at 7:30 p.m. versus Southern Utah. Go watch the team in action. More information on that, but we're going to do that tomorrow. Thunder Snow says the average age of the Lakers now is 72 and a half. That's true. Yeah, my math came out to the exact same thing. Just a Tip says Ohtani is not an MVP, period. Not even close. The only stat that would make anyone think he might be MVP is he leads the league in WAR, but he ain't the MVP.
Well, you can say he's not the MVP. You can't say he's not even close. That's where you just start to get ridiculous.
See, Schmitty has made a case to not be blocked for that racist comment from earlier. He was just trying to make some satire, and it went horribly. Yeah, I think you're going to be suspended for a while at the very least. So, yeah, knock it off, Schmitty. Cheese Skulls Burner says, Lakers get any older, they might as well call themselves the Minneapolis Lakers. Some of them did play on the Minneapolis team.
Yeah,
I'm
right
pretty sure I'm right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Oh, what if they brought back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I was just thinking
the Skyhook.
Yeah.
Ukla the Mock said, was that Skyhook or was that Magic?
No, Skyhook, I believe was Kareem.
That was Kareem. Okay.
Yeah.
Ukla says, NFL.com says, I got the best kicker. Oh, yeah. My kicker already has COVID. I got suck up. Bruno Baller says Kareem and Magic Johnson should try out for the Lakers. Why not? Senior Wake and Bake says, can I change my name to Skeet, Skeet, Skeet? No, you can't. No, not going to do it. 7748. Were you really in prison? I can't even read that.
That bad?
Come on, man. Let's see. I'm not going to read that part. Let's see. It says, once my nickname was Risk because of my gambling and how good I was at Pinochle. Risk. All right. So how about, he says, what about Risk or Big Risk? What do you think, Randy? What can we do with Risk?
Risk.
Risky mayo, risky cheese.
Is this the guy with the mayo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he says
risky mayo.
Risk
like
or big
that.
risk. He says, because I worked out, I got big. I was 6'2", 170 pounds. And then, I was working out there. And now I'm 6'2", 240 pounds. I'm solid.
You're a big man. You're a big man. I'd call him the Big Risk.
The Big Risk.
The Big Risk.
Big Risk.
Yeah, the Big Risk.
Big Risk. All right. I can do that. I'll put that in there. Why not? Are you good with the Big Risk? I think you must be, because that was one of the ones you suggested. Or are you looking for a funny one? Are you looking for a little something more to put on there? So we'll get this right for you. We're here for you. Daylight Drew says, are the Wildcats going to win 2 games? Discuss. Well, I would say yes, but they are sure to lose both the alumni game and when the juniors play varsity, they're going to lose that too. So no,
this is the wrong show to be asking that.
That's a big fat no right there. Jagdog says, yeah, I'm not going to address that. Fish Tank says, call him Risk Sandwich. Well, that's not too bad. Risk Sandwich isn't too bad.
Be.
What do you think of that?
Yeah. Could be, yeah.
Flompy Bumper says, call him Risker Biscuit. We already have a Whisker Biscuit, so no. Thunder Snow says, breaking news, George McCann is coming out of retirement and signing with the Lakers.
George Mikan. Man.
Mikan, sorry.
Let's just go ahead and get Jerry West, too. Just throw them all together.
Somebody else was trying to tell me something about Malcolm Butler earlier, but I lost that text. So is something out with Malcolm Butler?
Not that I heard, but I can look into it.
I don't know what's going on. And then Big Steve is on here saying something. And
he's probably
the main
trying
event. That's all he says. And the main event.
And the main event.
What's wrong with him? He's saying just that.
I don't know.
I think you didn't send the entire text, man. Sideshow Bob says, hey, fellas, just because I'm a fan of football, do you guys think the Bears tight end Horsted is the next big time tight end? He was freakish.
Is that the kid out of Horsted? Is that the kid out of was he the kid out of Penn State that never dropped the ball? Is that who that is, Horsted? I don't remember.
I don't know. Keon just fell asleep on us.
No, I was looking it up. I mean, you asked me a question. I didn't know what college he went to because he's like a third string tight end for the Bears, but he had a really good preseason. He's looked really good so far.
Oh, Big Steve is saying he's going to have ASU tickets too. Do you? I didn't know if you had tickets. All right. Well, okay. If you say so. I didn't know. What was that? So Horsted, what was that about him? What did I miss?
Oh,
nothing.
Just that
nothing big.
He's had a really great preseason.
Average Joe says, how about risk it or biscuit? I'm kind of tired of that saying. How about risk sandwich? Risk biscuit. Oh, risk biscuit. Yeah, that's better than just risk it or biscuit. I don't know. Let's hear from the super fan before we make
the big risk.
Oh, risky nuts, risky business. That's not bad. Risky business.
It's not bad
business. Yeah. We gotta take a break. When we come back, we'll figure it out. And Fish Tank says, yes, there was news. Malcolm Butler is considering retirement. I don't give a crap what he's considering. Come back to me when he makes a decision. How about that? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Staples Connect has everything for school at amazing prices. Right now, Staples one-subject notebooks are only 25 cents each, and Crayola 24-count crayons, 2-pocket polyfolders, and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each. So your student won't just be ready for school. There'll be tons of drawings to hang on the fridge ready.
We're going to need a bigger refrigerator.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back-to-school and get amazing prices for everything on your back-to-school list. Ends 9/18, limit 30. Notebooks in store only. Offer may vary online.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canier, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This coming fall, the bone-crushing hits, the heart-shattering last-second losses, the long bombs, quick hits, bubble screens, draw plays, slam patterns, the cover twos, nickel defenses, zone blitzes, spies, edge rush, and Mike linebackers. It's NFL football, and it's coming back exclusively to The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports, and we got a lot of stuff going on this week. Yeah, the AIA is starting up their season with St. Mary versus Brophy Prep. It's the Friday night game of the week at 7 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Got some college football for you on Saturday. LSU is at UCLA. That happens at 7 p.m. here on the big radio station. 888-368-1580. Ukulamak says, oh, what the hell? Oh, no. Suckup has COVID. Oh, my God. Oh, really? You had Suckup? Was he the best kicker, really? It's funny because I didn't take him. Other people took kickers before I did, so he'll be all right. He'll be back in time. Let's see. Mr. Pringle says a fourth dimension needs a thunder pudding. That's what we need for a texture nickname.
Well,
thunder
okay.
pudding.
All right.
We Fish Tank, Floppy Bumper, appreciate it, but yes, he has decided on his texture nickname. It is official. He is officially the Big Risk. Yes, the Big Risk is new to the Daily Blender. He says, "Wow, you guys are great. Your show is very interesting and entertaining. Having a sports talk show, but talking about other topics, well, that's great too." Well, thanks, Big Risk. Welcome to the show. It's nice when people get the idea. Cheese Skulls Burner says the Lakers are so old, they aren't having a retro night for uniforms. They're just bringing them back full time. There you go. Number one Rattler fan says no voice to text. Oh, so that's your thumbs doing that to you, huh? He says, imagine an NFL good wide receiver, like DK Metcalf, and then he plays defensive back and finishes as a good one with 5 interceptions and 2 sacks. Would he merit MVP consideration?
I would have to think so, right? Because of the impact that he's having on the game. If you're really good at one thing, but then you're the best at one statistical category and you're really good at a few other ones, you're in that conversation.
The MVP should be the best overall player. Okay, so if that is Shohei Ohtani and people can show me where he is the best overall player, don't give me this news about him he's done stuff that Babe Ruth did back in the teens. Okay, great. He's a pitcher. He's been pitching well. He's been on the hill. He's got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He's hit 41 ding-dongs. He doesn't lead the team in runs. He doesn't lead the team in RBIs. He doesn't lead the team in batting average. His batting average is 264. He swiped 20-some-odd bags. Okay, that's great. This kid is young. He's able to run the bases. He's able to go out and perform as a pitcher. He's already had Tommy John surgery. Give me some proof. You prove to me why Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball. I still haven't heard it. I mean, there's still guys like Xander Bogaerts that should be in the running. There's still guys that are best all-around ball players that should still be in the running. I'm just tired of hearing Tim Kurkjian, all 4 feet of him, get on TV and talk about how great and wonderful Shohei Ohtani is. Every time he says it, I think Tim Kurkjian gets an erection because he says, Shohei, Ohtani. Give me a break.
He does say it like that.
Why is this guy something different than anybody else? Is it because he's a pitcher and he can hit?
Yeah, it's that he's doing both at a really high level. Like, I think the buzz with Shohei, if he was a really good hitter but an average pitcher, I don't think we're having this conversation. If he was a really good pitcher but an average hitter, because we've had guys who pitch, who can hit a little bit, but they're not great hitters. He's hitting like he's got the most homers in the league. We've never seen a pitcher do anything like that before. Well, that's impressive.
And I think, look, anything can happen. If this guy, if he gets nicked up in some manner, you think the Angels are going to let him play through an injury? Hell no. This is the star of the Angels. They're going to protect him. So that's always in risk. If this guy, he gets pulled out of the lineup for even 1 or 2 days, I mean, that can be overshadowed very quickly. So I don't know. I think that this sort of scenario of baseball writers talk about these guys, and that institutes more publicity for these guys, and therefore they become the MVP of the league. Now, somebody prove me wrong. All I hear about is Shohei Ohtani. I watch the guy, phenomenal player, super talented, but to me, I don't think he's the MVP of this baseball season. I do not think, but I hear it from all the writers, but I don't think he is not, for me, a runaway MVP.
888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner, thank you for that. He says, no risk, no biscuit. No, we've already established that he is the big risk. That is the nickname for him right there. Ukla the Mock says, the worst part is I drafted the same guy as Radio Pal. You know why? Because you're not my pal anymore, Radio Pal. Whatever, Ukla. Bruno Baller says, one way to look at the Daily Blender is a virtual sports bar where guys get together, drinking their favorite beverage, talking about sports, pop culture, and life in general. So, yeah, it is basically like a radio sports bar kind of thing. I don't know. You know what we should do? We've talked about this before. We should just have our own sports bar and just do the show from our own.
The Daily Blender?
Yeah. Just do the Fanatic Sports Bar. All the shows could do it from there. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We might make some money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says Ohtani isn't the best player on his own team.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go so far as to say that. I mean, look, the Angels are miserable right now. They're, mired in 4th place. They can't seem to get out of their own way. They don't have the talent to bring them up. The Mariners, the A's, the Astros are all way better than they are. But I think the thing that bothers me is just all the baseball writers get together and everybody gets all joyful and happy because here's a guy who's throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and hits 41 home runs. So instantly, right, that makes him the MVP.
I am tired of not understanding what the MVP is. It should be a standard that is for all sports, meaning what is the MVP? Now, if you're going to say this is the best player in the league, well, then that should be best player of the year, not MVP, or MVP of the league, not the team. There needs to be a differential between, is this a guy who is called the MVP because if he weren't there, that team would lose, or is this the best player, period? So, there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of, uniformity between the sports. And sometimes, even with what we decide that the MVP is going to be, some sports treat it as a popularity contest. Some sports treat it as, this guy, like I just said, you use war as an example. Can we all just maybe get together and come up with the idea of what is the MVP really?
I would appreciate that. I think the MVP, most valuable player, has got to be the guy who would be the most valuable player in baseball, the guy with whom is the best player in the league.
Is it if you were starting a team today, who would you take, guy? Because that's a different thing entirely.
Yes, I think so.
Because I could see a team where you go, okay, like Shohei might be a guy I'm building my team around. He's 26 years old and look at what he's doing.
How do you have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani and not win? I mean, I know Trout's out, but
yeah, he's been hurt since May.
I'm talking about in general, though.
Or even having Trout his whole career, and they've never really been good.
Sideshow Bob says, bruh, he caught the most calm one-handed catch on the way to the end zone, and he scored like 3 tutties this weekend. Talking about Horsted. And I don't like to be called bruh.
Bruh.
I just really hate that. Used to be a couple of guys looked like they were in a cult that used to call everybody bruh. Never have I liked it. Never will I.
He got 3 tutties. I like that.
Bruh.
I don't know.
Ferda.
I feel like I'm in a high school locker room all over again. Hey, bruh.
So, bruh. Hitting the Nut says, how about risky cheesiness, like risky business? No, he's the big risk. We've already decided that. Yeah.
The big risk.
Just the Tip says, waiting outside the Blue Martini. I noticed Kyler Murray walk right in. Dordman said, hey, he's on the short list. Yeah, of course. Mr. Wilbur says, call him the lonely sperm donor. Okay, we've already chosen, and that's really sort of off the topic, but thank you. Fish Tank says, I feel like Randy, whoa, the whole thing moved. Sorry. I feel like Randy sounds like that situation where your ex-girlfriend ends up dating a super nice guy, but no matter what anybody says about how great he is, you have to hate him because he hurt you. Did Tim Kirkjohn hurt you, Randy?
No, Tim Kirkjohn is he's a quality writer, but that's it. He doesn't know a damn thing about playing the game of baseball. Nothing. He's been around it. He's talked to players that play the game, but he's never strapped it up and gone, the guy can't even throw.
Now we got people trying to come up with like an elevator pitch for what the Daily Blender is.
Just in case we wind up in an elevator with some billionaire,
I guess. Unnamed texter says, Jeffrey, the Blender is just a great BSing session. But he didn't say BSing.
Could be.
Unnamed texter 2454. Floppy Bumper says, a fanatic is like Cheers, but in radio form. We got no Carla. We got no
well, there's Jen and
Shelly. We got no I don't know their names. Dark hair girl. We got no women's on this. Although we have women's texters though. Good Cat says, I love the idea of the Fanatic Sports Bar, but I'm worried it'd always be out of whiskey. Yeah, that's probably a good point. Yeah. Let's see. Fed Fan, just saying hi. Oh, there's Fed Fan. Hey. I don't know where you've been lately. How are you doing? How are you now? Hopefully you're okay. We've mentioned you and thought about you often. Have you signed up for the NFL Fan Pick'em? You better get in there and make sure your account is good because she was one of the higher ranking pickers. She was damn near in. I think she was fighting hard for that second place towards the end of the season. Good to hear from you, Fed Fan. Hope everything's well with you. Everybody thought that I said something to offend her. And I'd run
why
her
did
off.
You scare off Fed Fan, Jeffrey?
I wonder why.
Well, I'm glad she's back. Hey, since you've been on your Fed Fan hiatus, we've gotten some more female listeners. Would you believe that? Ukulamak says, okay, so does Radio Pal give your kicker COVID? I didn't give the kicker COVID. I don't have COVID. I don't even know Ryan Suckup. What are you talking about?
That's how bad rumors get started right there.
That's right. Average Joe says, I agree. Ohtani is not the MVP. They should go to Judge, DJ LaMathieu, Cole, or maybe Gallo.
So just Yankees. Just Yankees then.
Feel like that's kind of a theme right there,
a bunch
isn't
of
it?
Yankees. All right. Because when he said Judge, I was like, okay, he's in the conversation.
And it started to deteriorate on some of these guys. Yankees suck. I hate them. Just a Tip says, Los Angeles Angels are fourth in their division, 13 and a half games back, no hope of making the playoffs. Yeah, I remember the Hawk winning the MVP at a terrible team, which is BS. MVP is different from best player, and Ohtani is neither of those.
Yeah, and listen, I think Ohtani is probably one of the 10 best players in the league right now, but I don't see him as singled out as the MVP. I think the MLB has turned this damn MVP thing into a damn a popularity contest. The more of the big stations, CBS, NBC, ESPN, the rest of these guys, the more they talk about them, the more they're going to win the MVP.
FedFan says, by the way, guys, my name is actually Carla. So you do have a Carla, like on Cheers.
Wow.
Hey, there we go.
What was Shelley Long's character named on that? Diane. So do we have a Diane? And the other one, Kirstie Alley. What'd she play? Rebecca. So do we have a Diane and a Rebecca? If you have a Diane and a Rebecca listening and they text in and confirm that as their actual, I know that Carla is your name because I've seen your emails when you send in for contests and stuff. So if we have a Rebecca and a Diane, we are the Cheers of radio.
There we go.
Which is a compliment, quite frankly, because that's a great show.
I guess I would be I'd be Sam Malone. Randy would be Coach. And I guess you end up being Woody. I don't know. Maybe Frazier. I don't know. Maybe Frazier.
Maybe Frazier.
I think Keon would be Frazier.
Yeah, kind of feel like he'd be Frazier. T-Bone says, Fanatic Sports Bar theme song is, no, it's not. And I'm not, don't you dare. Fish Tank says, just remember, the Yankees won't even win their division. This has been your I Hate the Yankees update. Floppy Bumper says, I think you're spot on, Randy. Just a popularity contest. Good Cat says, the ML MVP should be the Nets or robo umpires. By the way, I'm anti-Joe Buck. I agree with some of that.
You're
but
not
all of it.
On the Joe Buck thing, though.
Mr. Pringle says, perhaps we would all understand the MVP better if baseball would change the name of the award to Most Popular Player Award.
There you go.
That would be more correct. FedFan says, I'm fine. I just took a break from sports radio shows.
Good for you.
But why us? We didn't hurt nobody.
She likes us.
We're more than just a radio sports show. Floppy Bumper says, can I be Norm? You must be this big to play Norm. Tiger Paws says, Diane, and if you had a blender Fanatic bar, the morning show could serve some Irish coffee. Your name is actually Diane? Holy crap, we've had a Diane and a Carla, so at least we're early seasons Cheers. Now if we can find a Rebecca hitting the nuts, I don't know if that's going to work. He says, I identify as a Rebecca.
Hey. Hey, now.
We might be desperate enough to take it.
No, sir.
Be careful.
Buka the Mock says, oh, God, what is this Major League Baseball thing you speak of? I thought it was a home run league. Bruno Baller.
I love that take.
Bruno Baller says, who would be Norm Peterson and Cliff Clavin, the mailman? Cliff Clavin of the radio station.
Who would be Cliff?
Well, they don't work here.
Would that be Dale?
No. Cliff Clavin of the radio station don't work here no more. Thunder Snow says, welcome back, Fed fan. Boomer Sooner says, I guess I could be coach on the show. Well, I thought Randy might be coach. Floppy Bumper says, by the way, I highly recommend George Wendt book Drinking with George Awesome Reed. What the hell are they talking about? George Wendt has a book about drinking. Is that what you're saying? Big George should be Norm.
Hey, there we go.
George Wendt, Big George.
Big George could be George Wendt, or he could also be Cliff Clavin.
You think so?
Yeah.
On Twitter, he is a Cliff Clavin on the Twitter.
He's got that kind of that Cliff Clavin attitude.
Good Cat says, I'll be Cliff. You don't get to just choose. We got to figure this out. T-Bone says, fine, name the bar O'Malley's. Well, if we're going to name the bar anything other than, the Fanatic Sports Bar, it'd be O'Brien's. Because if I'm going to put my money into this, then it's going to be mine.
That's fair.
Thunder Snow says, I'd be a Cliff Clavin. I'm a mailman by trade, actually. Well, he's actually a mailman, Randy.
Well, there we go.
Are you?
But does he have that Cliff Clavin sort of attitude, though?
I don't know. He's not a insufferable know-it-all, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, listen, we don't have time to figure this all out here and now. The show's almost over, and we have to do Big George's sports history and other sort of things. So come on back, everybody. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends who've used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now, you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
8 Out presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked off.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, the ABA, and this station.
Are you losing sleep over recent market volatility affecting your hard-earned retirement savings? Let's face it, if you're at or near retirement, you can't afford to lose 40% of your nest egg, like so many did in 2008. On one hand, you want safety and guarantee of principal. On the other hand, most people prefer the potential of higher growth by being linked to the market. Now you can have both. Principal protection during market downturns and desirable market-linked growth during upturns. When the market goes up, you'll go up with it and your gains are locked in. And when the market goes back down, you're guaranteed not to lose. It's that simple. If you like the idea of avoiding market risk but earning more than a CD, call Seiler Wealth Management at 407-831-8002. We'll keep it simple. We'll teach you time-tested, proven strategies to help grow your income and keep your principals safe for retirement. To get started, call Seiler Wealth Management at 407-831-8002 and listen to Money Radio Wednesdays at noon for the Stock Doctor's Prescription Show.
We give you so much sports, you'll have to hit the showers after listening. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, your exclusive home for the NFL.
Second the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And yes, tomorrow, the morning show, Big Steve in the main event, and the Daily Blender. We will all have some ASU tickets to give away for some Thursday night football over there at Sun Devil Stadium as they take on the, what did they say they were playing? Utah or something like that?
Yeah, Utah State, I believe.
I don't know who they're talking. It doesn't matter. You get to see ASU play. That's what really matters there. Be a lot of fun. 888-368-1580. And all right, I don't want to talk about MVP no more. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I just wanted to kind of poke Randy on a little bit earlier. I didn't know that it was going to become like a dominant thing about this radio show today. Again, people are very passionate about Shohei Ohtani. I mean, you've watched some games with Shohei Ohtani in them, right, Randy?
Yes, I've watched several.
Yeah. So, it's not like you're anti-Ohtani.
No, I mean, where are the reports of Shohei Ohtani going 0 for 3 with 3 Ks? But I mean, I saw it just the other night. He went 0 for 3 with 3 Ks.
Well, it happens. Sometimes people have a slow night.
But if he farts and hits a home run, it's all over the front pages.
Is that his secret to success?
If he's like 1 for 4 with a home run, oh dear God, you would have think we elected him as a king ruler of the world.
Was that your secret to hitting? Did you like try to coordinate a fart right when you hit the ball?
It's a fact. You brace up, you take in a deep breath. Sometimes when you let that deep breath out, things happen. Yeah.
Fed fan says only at the U.S. Open in New York, you get to watch some stupid Broadway performance instead of actual tennis. Can I just say, oddly, because I don't have the remote control, it's up on my screen right now too. And I was wondering, who are these people singing to each other at this tennis match? I don't know what's going on here. Why didn't that girl get herself some clothes? She's like walking around in a slip up there too. Mile High Guy says, please let me be Nick Tortelli, Carla's sleazy first husband on Cheers, please. That's going to really be up to Fed fan, I think. Bruno Baller says, here's a little Cheers trivia. What was the name of the restaurant that was above the bar? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Randy?
No idea.
I think I watched every episode of Cheers ever. Melville's.
Was it?
Could be. Let me look it up.
Who's going to tell me I'm wrong? Just Tip says, thank you for another fantastic race setup last Friday, Randy. You got a lot of information in a short time from Alex Hayden. Sounds like he actually enjoys talking with you and your intern there, rather than just going through the motions. I can't wait till you get David Pearson and that fabulous 21 Wood Brothers Mercury on your show. There's an awful lot going on in that text, isn't there?
Yeah.
Tiger Paws says, is Keon Frazier then? Feel like Keon might be Frazier. Feel like he might be. I don't know.
I believe, Jeffrey, you are 100% correct. Melville's.
There we go. Chief Skulls Burner says Boogie would be Norm.
Boogie?
Maybe. Ukul the Mock says Big George is both Cliff and Norm. He's big enough to be both.
Well,
Thunder Snow says, I'm not an insufferable know-it-all. I have to pick up my game, though. Big George says, I'll take it. I'll be Cliff. Yeah, I bet I'll probably look like him about 20 years from now with the mustache and everything. The Big Risk says, he's right. Ohtani does have bad games, and it's never talked about. But when he hits a home run, boy, that is all they talk about. All right, fair enough.
It leads every damn news story there is.
Well, not every damn news story.
Well, I swear to you, if he hits a home run tonight, it'll be, oh, dear God, Ohtani's done it again. He's had another home run. Like that is...
It usually does tend to be a big deal, though, when the guy who's leading the majors in homers hits another homer. That means he gets to keep the lead. He gets to keep the thing going.
We should probably get this out of the way right now. Yeah. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1904, Thomas Hicks of Cambridge, Massachusetts, won the third modern Olympic marathon in St. Louis, Missouri, in 3 hours and 28 minutes and 53 seconds, collapsing at the finish line. 90-degree heat, 90% humidity. It was freak nasty out there. Another of the 32 starters, Fred Lors of Mohawk Athletic Club in New York, finished 15 minutes ahead of Hicks, but he was disqualified because they found out he took a car.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I guess he rode in a car for like 11 of the miles. So, yeah.
It's another strike against those people from New York.
Why is Fred not sweaty? Yeah.
Yeah, wait, why isn't he collapsing? It's 90% humidity out here.
The fastest marathon time ever, current official world record stands as 2 hours, 1 minute, 39 seconds.
What?
And big surprise, it was a Kenyan. His name was Eliud Kipchoge, and he did that in Berlin in 2018.
Wow.
So,
dude,
man, that was fast.
Yeah, that is
good
fast.
for him.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. And if you're going to race that Kenyan fella, you're going to need a fast car, because that's not, a regular car is not even going to be enough.
You might need to cheat with like a McLaren.
You might, yeah. Maybe a head start.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Number one Rattlers fan says Sammy Baugh, Washington Redskins.
Thank you.
What about him?
Oh, sorry. Number one Rattlers fan. For some reason, the other text didn't show up as it showed up as already read, so I didn't see it. It's a trivia question. He says pertinent to what you're talking about. The last NFL player to lead the league in passing touchdowns on offense and interceptions on defense was Sammy Baugh, the Washington Redskins.
Slinging Sammy Baugh.
Two-way player right there. So how many years ago was that you had who would now these days ever let a quarterback play on defense too?
Yeah.
That past the high school level, which is the only place you really see it.
No kidding. Yeah. That just, there's no way they're going to risk that. So I'm thinking what, the 40s, the 50s, something like that. Yeah. That's craziness. 888-368-1580. So in the preseason games the other day, Lamar Jackson, he was like, hey, that's right. We've won 20 in a row. Preseason games. We've run 20 in a row of all of our preseason games. That's right, baby. Woo! That's lit. That's stupid.
So on a scale,
what is wrong with you?
on a scale of Kyler Murray on one end, I hate preseason. I wish it would die. I don't ever want to play it. And Lamar, we won 20 preseason games in a row. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's not lit. That's really stupid. That you actually think that those games matter. He says, we want to win at the end of the day. I don't care if it's preseason. We compete against each other in practice. We want to win, and it's good to just keep winning. I get it. A little bit of rah-rah for you and your troops and, a little something to start the season on a positive note. But the game didn't matter. The other team wasn't trying.
Well, I think that he's the ultra competitive type. If you challenge Lamar Jackson to a game of Connect
team's
4,
not trying.
He tried to destroy you in that game of Connect 4. It doesn't matter.
Pathetic and sad, but social, right? 888-368-1580. I'm sorry. It's not lit. It's stupid. That's all that is. I'm sorry.
Players can't afford to think that way.
Hey, I saw Trevor Lawrence looking pretty good. Did you guys see
Stacey
that?
Lawrence? Yeah.
He actually did. He threw 2 touchdowns. And I mean, again, it's just preseason, but he had poise. I did notice though, Randy, he had some wobbly balls. And he had some throws that weren't all that straight either. 888-368-1580. What? Thunder Snow says
he better lash those babies up before next
probably
week.
Might want some tighter pants. How old is Keon? He got my George Meekin reference, and slinging Sammy Baugh.
Well, physically I'm 31, but deep down inside I'm like a Lakers player. I'm like 70.
People can't understand. Sometimes people on the show here read. Sideshow Bob says, I think the Super Bowl champs thinking matter. Tom Brady played in all the games.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that does not mean anything.
I got to tell you, I watched the Bucks last preseason game. They look like they're
good.
Well-oiled and ready to go.
Yeah, here's the thing. He didn't play the whole game, and they weren't trying to, win the game. It was just, hey, this is dress rehearsal. Let's make sure we're doing this right. Whatever. They'll put somebody good against us. If they do, they do. They don't, they don't. This is basically a dress rehearsal practice for us. Yeah. And Tom Brady, he is looking good, looking sharp. But like I said, Trevor Lawrence, his throws were a little bit Peyton Manning wobbly. And when I said, wow, Trevor Lawrence is throwing kind of wobbly, he says, and my wife says, honey, Peyton Manning. I said, yeah. At the end of his career, not the beginning. Peyton Manning didn't always throw wobbly, ducks. It was towards the end after injuries and, age. So Trevor Lawrence's passes got where they needed to go. He got where he needed to go. He didn't get killed this time, but still, boy, those passes didn't look exactly as sharp as you would have expected for a guy coming in, first round pick.
And they didn't look as sharp as they did when he was back at Clemson. So maybe he's just overthinking it a little.
Nerves going there.
At Clemson, and he had an offensive line.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah, he's not long for the world. And by God, good idea, Urban Meyer. Get rid of the one guy who can probably back him up and evade the attackers. Well done.
If I'm Gardner Minshew and coach wants to see you bring your playbook, I'm saying no.
Thank you.
Not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where am I going?
Oh, boy.
Oh, thank you.
I don't even care. Jets, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
Philadelphia's not a great football team, but they do have an offensive line. It does function.
Woo! Yeah. I didn't care. Sideshow Bob says, Cam will be to the bench week 4. Hey, I got news for you. He's not even the starter yet. Belichick was like, I don't know what we're doing. He hasn't figured it out. I mean, there's too many NFL teams that haven't figured it out. But here's one team. Oh, they may have figured out who their backup's going to be. Chosen Rosen, Josh Rosen, Randy. We were drafting when the news broke, but he has shown up. Excuse me.
Excuse you.
This is so improbable. I can't say it.
Just got you all choked up.
he's shown up on the Falcons, and they let him play in the preseason game, and I guess he did pretty good. Okay, now check yourselves against the third string. And he did pretty good against them.
Well, this is a guy that got cut, and everyone was like, well, I guess he doesn't belong in the league anymore.
He doesn't belong in the league anymore.
If he can beat third stringers, he at least belongs in a backup role.
He belongs on a practice squad and nothing else. And because he's not even going to make the I don't think he'll even make the roster.
I got to love his quote after the game. He was asked about how he felt out there. He says, my package definitely grew today. So
he did say that
quote. Yeah.
He did say that.
Well, just for that quote alone, they should send him home.
Well, no, he should be a starter just because of that quote.
I don't know if you saw the picture of him at the presser, by the way. It looked like he'd gone off to war and came back.
Yeah, that beard and sunken eyes. He does.
He looked like Private Ryan when they send him home.
The last thing he said in the press conference was, earn it. That was it. That just poor guy has seen some bleep, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But he also said it was refreshing just to go play football like you did in Pop Warner. But he doesn't realize he was actually playing against Pop Warner players. It's preseason, and you are getting guys who are not likely going to make the team as your opponent.
Listen, I have nothing but faith for this guy. I hope he does really well with Atlanta. I hope he finds a place, and I hope at some point that all the haters will realize what I've been saying all along. This guy is an NFL quarterback.
Well, he's no Shohei Ohtani, but if you say so.
Is that the way you want to end today? Really? Really?
I didn't want to talk about Ohtani for 3 damn hours, but look what I got.
He brings it up at the end of the damn show. You see that, Keyshawn? You see that?
Just snuck it right in there.
I wanted to talk about Trent Dilfer as a high school coach, but that'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Well, he's no Shohei Ohtani.
No, he's no Shohei Ohtani, that's for sure. All right, guys, I guess that's going to wrap it up for us. Come on back tomorrow. We got ASU tickets and a whole lot more fun. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.